back.
Yeah, the bigger picture. Elliott Wilson,
Jeremy Hecht.
DJ Hed, West Coast.
What is it, episode 5, Jeremy?
Episode 5.
Yeah, man.
We made it to 5.
Some people call us a podcast. Are we a podcast? Or we a
They
hip-hop
call
group?
everything a podcast,
Right?
If you crack an egg and put it in a skillet, they would call it a podcast.
If you filmed it.
You know what I'm saying? People don't know what the they talking about.
We consider it more of a hip-hop debate
Sorry,
show.
I the YouTube algorithm. If you curse within the first
Let's
5 minutes.
let's edit
Yeah,
that.
CT will bleep that out. Yeah, you were doing a podcast run this weekend. I told Elliott I had to buy the Patreon episode of Joe Budden just to hear.
Yeah, I wasn't
what he
doing
had to
that.
say.
Shout out to Joe Budden. But Elliott, are you jet lagged?
No, I'm here, baby. I got in the day before because I respect our time at the bigger picture, man. I respect these tapings. I wasn't gonna
Look at Elliott sitting
take
over
the
there
red eye.
and
They put me in a high
you in
chair,
Flip's
man.
chair?
I didn't know I was getting a high chair, right?
You in
Yeah.
Flip's chair? You look like a big ass toddler.
As soon as
You have to-
somebody said I dressed like a 5th grader, for sure. I got that off. I was like, I got that. I received that. My
Bro,
therapist
you
said
sit there like
I
you-
received that.
Hey, you sit there like
received
you
that.
ain't did your homework.
No, I didn't know I was gonna get the high chair. As soon as I came on the set, Ian's like, yeah, Flip's not here. You're
Somebody
gonna
bring
get
me
the
a
big
sippy
chair.
cup for Elliott.
I was like, wait, I get the big chair?
Feels like you're looking down the whole time at them.
I had a great time, man. I enjoyed Joe and his team and the chemistry they had.
Who was the dude that said he said to tell DJ Hed? I don't know him.
Yeah, me, of course.
Okay. He shooting at you. Yeah, he shooting. Not you. You ain't ripped the clip. Not you, dog.
Hey, tell your man DJ Hed don't try to start no nothing too.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I fuck
West
with him
Coast,
too, but
the
I
bigger
seen a
picture.
little tweet he posted, try to.
Now he repping hard.
Shitting
He's
us
West
for crip
Coast.
walking and all that.
What'd he say? Which one?
No, I ain't gonna repeat it. But
You got beef? You got
no. We fucking him. But
DJ Hed, man. Shout out to him.
I absolutely love DJ Hed, and I loved him even pause DJ Hed too.
Wow, right?
That's my man, but pause.
Oh yeah, we got to reply to
Ice?
that.
Officially Ice with the M?
Oh,
What did he say?
Ice. That's his name?
Ice, yeah. Ice is officially
No,
Ice.
it was
Ish.
it was it E?
Oh,
No,
Imani.
Yeah,
Imani?
yeah.
It was
it was-
okay,
yeah.
yeah. Shout out to Imani.
Shout out to Imani.
Okay.
Imani's an artist. You know, he's made a lot of records back in the day, like on the underground level, like as an R&B singer in Joe's camp. But yeah, they got a great team. But it's hectic though because like that's a podcast and there's like 5 or 6, 7 people. There's active mics and you talking over each other and it's just kind of like organized confusion of chaos and
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a
and
lot
fun
of people.
things.
They say that 4 people is really the ideal amount in a conversation before it gets to.
like those radio rules, right? I had
Yeah.
like the
Bro.
whole thing of like
I personally like 3. 4 gets complicated. You know what I mean? Like I personally like 3.
yeah.
That way it's like it's unbalanced. Something about the disruptive nature of like an unbalanced number. I like
I
it.
see that debate even going on now in sports about how much is too much, right? Like inside the NBA, that infrastructure, which ultimately to me it was actually free, just really, Chuck, Kenny Smith, and Ernie. Then they brought Shaq in, and at first it seemed like it wasn't working.
I like it.
Then finally it turned around, and like that's the 4, right? But then now with the playoff run, they'll bring in like Draymond and stuff, and it ended up being disruptive, like to have that 5th mic.
So who would you remove from this?
Well, no. Let's get back to this for a second. So, the comment was, "Tell DJ Hed I said what's up." It was something like that.
No, he said tell DJ Hed.
Oh, because you tweeted something.
I
Right,
don't even know what I tweet. I tweet a lot of shit, bro.
I think
Like,
it
I
might
post
have
so
been
much.
about when they were dancing, and not like us,
Yeah.
and you said like be careful or something like that. I think that's what he was referring to.
Oh, to watch their hands.
Yeah, to watch their hands.
Oh yeah, I was joking, but I mean, yeah, like everything means something.
Yeah.
You damn near can't say hi in LA without offending
Yeah.
somebody. So I was, just what it is.
You might sign language.
some
the
LA
wrong way.
shit. Elliott, you went on there and you was a chatty patty, wasn't you?
He did reveal some information.
yeah,
You know what I'm
You were kind of caught between a rock and a hard place though, because like you said,
I was
there
compromised.
there was an emoji you were talking about, and you're like, if I talk about the emoji, it
Yeah.
makes me more of the emoji. But I think
Looking back on it, I think what happened was because me and Joe are cool, and it's a good time to reconnect with my guy. He said something about how like Drake hasn't spoken to him or communicated with him, whatever
Since the
DM,
beef.
since the beef and since the drama. Since it went down to where Kendrick is the winner of the battle. And it triggered in my mind like this story I had suppressed about the big kind of kiss off fuck you he sent me, because I was never going to tell anyone because I felt like the brilliance of him being a fellow cerebral assassin, just like Mr. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, like for somebody to send you a rat emoji and then you tell people somebody sent you a rat emoji, you're literally ratting.
So he sent you a rat emoji.
Said a rat emoji.
So
yeah.
Drake DM'd you.
Yeah, I'll give you, because I need to understand too. I'm going to ask you guys, because I don't even I'm confused to this day. And now these like these wild Drake.
Yeah, we have this one, the
OVO
murder
stands.
mystery.
Yeah, it's a murder mystery. It's like
they're piecing together that you were in Venice and or Kendrick was in Santa Monica
Yeah.
and you were there. And
So my take is this, Mr. DJ Hed. My take is, well, let's think about it. That morning, we got 616 in LA
Correct.
to set the day, which we didn't see coming. Amazing record, blah, blah. There was, to me, a lot of industry rumors like that Drake was going to respond that night. It wasn't some big secret.
yeah,
It felt like Drake was going to drop a record, or if he wasn't, Kendrick coming with the top of the morning, like not just sitting by Euphoria, but dropping another record top of that Friday morning, kind of set the
Pressure
weekend
was
off.
on.
Pressure was on. So I think finally I was like, again, we had our falling out with the Bobby thing when I criticized that, but we had gotten kind of cool more behind the scenes and him supporting my social media feeds and that type of shit. But I hit him, I was like, yo, you dropping a joint tonight? Just sniffing around. He's like, yeah, something, LOL. I'm like, okay, so he's kind of joking around, cool. And I saw the things where he was kind of like letting academics know something's coming, get in your stream.
yeah.
Letting Kai know something's coming, get in your stream. Letting Maul know something's coming. Maul put the big red button of like a bomb's coming.
He had the OVO squad.
Exactly. So Drake has media relationships, and he at times he's given us information to help present to the world. I was the first person to ever tweet.
Late, right?
Yeah. I was the first person to tweet that, your next project is called If You're Reading This It's Too Late.
I thought you were joking when I saw it.
Everybody thought I was capping, but he had told me, yeah, you could tell everybody. I was like, and I asked, I'll say, because everything in media is like, my off the record conversations are legendary, but I respect journalism. Can we go on the record? Like, can I say that to everybody that's really coming out? Yes, you can say that. Okay. The name of the new Drake tape is If You're Reading This Is Too Late. And everybody's like, what the fuck you talking about? You don't know nothing. That's not what it's gonna be. Blah blah blah.
I know that feeling.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you transfer the off the record? Because that's the thing. Somebody like me and DJ Hed, why we are respected is because we've been in this industry a long time. We built these relationships. You nurture and manage those relationships. All off the record conversations are amazing, but we're not gonna violate and go on the record if everybody's not where it needs to be. So he teases that, and then out of nowhere, he sent me a rat emoji.
Out of nowhere.
I've never had a grown man ever send me a disrespectful emoji of any sort. I'm a grown ass man.
Can we stop right there? A disrespectful emoji is where we're at in 2020.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm literally I'm fuming and trying to stay. So I did the cool shit of initial reacting. I thought I got my cool shit off. I was just like, I wrote back to him on the 50 Cent shit, like, what you say fuck me for? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he never responded. But when I
He
look
sent
back
you the
at
rat
it,
emoji when?
Yeah, was there anything
before the
that?
record was gonna drop, that was the big, to me, kiss off. Fuck all y'all. I'm
Which record?
about to end this. Family Matters.
So he sent you a rat emoji. He sent you a rat emoji.
He confirmed to me that he was putting something out that night.
And then
It
what'd
was
you
coming.
say?
Like I said, are you dropping blah blah night? He says he kind of dismisses like something LOL, and then he sent the rat emoji. So to me, when I look at it now, he felt again, Family Matters was gonna be the kill shot. That ends. Let me put the Denzel video up. It's when the Denzel video came. No, actually, the Denzel video came up first. So when he put the Denzel video up, what movie was that, Jeremy? Let's give some clarity. I don't know the
Training Day?
No. It was the one where I'm gonna murder everybody, but my only regret is I got to do it one. I only get to do it one time. You remember that?
Oh, the scene from the movie. I know what you're
The
talking
scene from the movie.
Yeah, I know.
He did it. He put on social himself the scene of a movie from a Denzel movie, and it's like, I'm gonna kill all y'all, and my only regret is I get to do it one time.
Okay.
No, I remember that.
He called the shot.
So he sent you a rat emoji because you said something.
No, he does that. I confirm. Hey, does that mean you're dropping a missile? Like, how long do I'm almost like, how long do I have to stay up? Is it come out at 9? Is it coming out 1 a.m? And he's like, yeah, LOL, blah blah. And then out of nowhere, like maybe 10 minutes later, he sends me a rat emoji.
And then the record drops right after that.
Yes.
He sent you the rat emoji. So when you saw it, did you know what it was? Did you know what he meant?
I felt that he thought I was against him, and I had chosen a side, and I couldn't be trusted anymore.
But why did you think that at that
big,
point?
kiss off, send off, and y'all gonna regret it because I'm ending this battle right now. Ain't nobody fucking with this record, and this battle's over.
So
and I'm the winner.
Do you think that you're a rat?
what would I rap about?
That's
like,
what I'm asking.
That's why I would ask you, DJ Hed. Like, imagine if you say the Kendrick, and again, that everything Kendrick knows, or what, because Elliott Wilson is telling him that. Kendrick would kiki laugh all day. It's like, I'm cool with Kendrick, as you know, but we're not cool like that we even had that level of like personal rapport. And then what am I telling him? He's gonna drop a battle record against you? Yes, nigga, you're in a battle. Like what am I telling you?
So
and here's it, I don't know what is the information I'm telling you.
Did you respond to the rat emoji?
Yeah, I did the 50 Cent. I said, why you say what you saying fuck
and
me
he didn't
for?
hit you back.
Never back. That's the last communication we ever had on Instagram DMs, because then after that, he blocked me and we're not.
So in lieu of the rat emoji, right?
Yes.
We have a gift for you.
You said what?
We have a gift for you.
Okay.
I think it's actually behind.
Right. Yeah, I hate y'all, man. This is the bigger picture, man. Look at
Here. We gotta make sure.
We gotta make sure that
everybody knows.
So we got you some Kobe Jack. We got you
options too.
I got some cheese,
some sharp cheddar.
Yeah.
Hold on,
I'm
cheesing,
fam.
Cheesing,
Am
fam.
I cheesing, fam?
And we got you some mozzarella too.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So
this is how they do me, man.
So look, take the mozzarella.
How many years in this business?
Yeah, you want this one too? One more.
You got some mozzarella
some
too.
Mozza.
You got 3 cheese.
I'm only gonna bring the mozzarella home. That's only what
You got the 3 cheese.
Kobe Jack is lightweight. That's cheap cheddar. You know what I'm saying? But the mozzarella,
that's
where it comes
from.
from.
From New York.
As my therapist says again.
Are you received?
I received this.
That's my therapist.
I received this.
Listen,
I acknowledge it as such.
the most confusing part to me is this whole rat thing, because like you said, there's people making conspiracies.
So then
like,
there's location theories.
Yeah.
Because when he does the battle all day, he decided Kendrick's in Brooklyn at the place he bought. Him and Dave Free, you know, they're at the Barclays Center.
Yeah, he hasn't seen his kids in months.
They're holed up in this gentleman's bachelor pad in Brooklyn, and the bars is coming in, and then the Venice thing to me got triggered, if I go back and remember, because he did the Alchemist record, and our guy hip hop, Kayamba Joshua, put up a picture of Alchemist and Kendrick in the lab. But I think DJ Hed can confirm that was an old photo. It wasn't like a current, to me. I don't know. I'm speculating. But just that photo. Then I think Drake started to think all this shit is actually going down in Venice. Elliott lives in Venice.
What?
And now he's part of like what they're cooking up. He's championing them. And then when you hit a hard part 6, there's these Venice lines and Venice da. So now I look like, okay, you say I'm not relevant, but now like all of a sudden I'm the mole or the rat in the studio that's like, no, like I don't understand any of it. What would I reveal? What would I tell on? I have nothing to tell on.
Okay, so look.
Is that fair? What am I telling you?
That's crazy. I don't know.
This is deep conspiracy.
That's like, this whole thing has gotten completely out of control.
It is.
Okay?
I love a good conspiracy.
Like, it's insane, right?
I can see Kendrick laughing at this shit. Like,
bro,
seriously?
Me and Elliott have had no conversation.
Oh, no. Let's land that last part. I'm sorry. Let's land that last part. Then because, again, now in the presence of 2024, I have a show with DJ Hed, who's Mr. West Coast. So it all seems like that was just the kind of the bridge of that I'm making this big switch and I've chosen their side. And me and now DJ Hed said we're going to build a media empire out of this shit.
What?
And whatever the fuck. Like that's how crazy it's gotten. But yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, so all right, we're not even finna dignify all of that. That shit crazy. That don't got nothing to do with nothing. We're not doing that. Elliott didn't leak no information. He didn't have no information. Every time Elliott asked me something, I would look at him the same way I look at y'all.
Yep.
The fuck you do the side pen.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I would respect that because I know you have those relationships.
Yeah. So
and when it was time for Kendrick or somebody to go on the record, they would go on the record.
Yeah. Then we'll have that conversation. But that conspiracy is the wildest. So because you live in Venice,
yes,
and because Alchemists, they like that. You got to be a real foreigner to think that. Like, and I don't know if these are tweets or if that's really what he was thinking or people on his side.
No, I think he definitely thought that.
Are you serious?
100%.
So look, if you're not from LA, we don't do no gangster shit. We don't do no gangster shit with Elliott Wilson. Okay, just so
because Elliott Wilson is not a gangster.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not a gangster.
No gangster shit is being translated through Elliott Wilson, and for that matter, definitely not on the beach. Okay.
Okay, so he says, instead you in that Venice studio. Okay, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead you in that Venice studio. It's a celebration. You got to learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing.
He's talking to Kendrick in that, but some people even think now he's talking to me with that way.
No, no.
Okay, can I play conspiratorial? Here, I'll
I want to hear his last point before you.
That's fine. Go ahead. Cook.
okay.
Cook, Jay.
Okay, real quick. So let's just say
ISO for Jay. ISO.
So, all right. So Drake, right? Drake and Elliott have a good relationship over time. They've sat together many times, right?
Yeah, no one's got more interviews. The whole thing.
And before an interview, after an interview, you have many conversations.
Correct.
Maybe about the album, maybe about personal life, maybe you know the man on a personal level to some degree.
Yes.
So maybe there's some information that Elliott's holding about Drake that they said off record.
I am, but nothing related to his conflict with Kendrick Lamar once they started battling. I wasn't an insider with information. I had no information. I received the records the same way every fan received those records. And my reactions were my reactions.
Same.
Until you ran into Kendrick Lamar on the Venice boardwalk. And I'm just kidding. It would take so much piecing together to make that.
Bro, you know what's crazy is that's not even the rapper. He don't even be in Venice. There is a rapper that be in Venice all the time, walking around, just regular. But it ain't
no,
that.
Kendrick's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? I'm just saying.
But I need Mr. West Coast to say that so they understand. It's
I'll be in Venice.
I don't even understand what information I could give someone. I don't know. Like, you seen Drake walk around. You know all his OVO people. If somebody's saying, hey, one of those guys is giving information outside their camp, I'm not in his camp. I'm not I'm the media person he messed with before, but it's like I'm not in the what am I telling you?
What is the info even? Yeah.
Because I guess if Family Matters, I get speculating. I guess if Family Matters, it could be that, oh, he shot a video, right? He shot the whole video. He went back to that Chinese spot that you referenced and said, this is his spot, but like, dude, all that TDT talk. Okay, maybe that, but I didn't know they shot a video.
How would you even know that? Yeah.
Yeah, because he wasn't messing with me.
Yeah,
so it's like, I don't have to but I just love the fan. Like, it's gotten to this point where it's like, all the theories, and you know what's crazy to me, DJ Hed, and I want your opinion on this. This battle is not about, to me, any of the extra shade roomy accusations, headlines. None of it landed to me. Avery is the father of one of the kids. Kendrick abuses his woman. Drake is a pedophile.
Drake has another kid.
Drake has a daughter. Now here, I don't know if any of those four things are true. But the battle and the success of what happened in the culture was nobody, to me, the majority don't believe any of those things. That's not why we like the Mustard record, because at the end, we get to say Drake's a pedophile. That's not why that record wins. It isn't.
I agree.
None of it lands. None of it landed. It was a battle. It was beats and rhymes, strategy, execution, release, and Kendrick won defiantly.
I agree.
Yeah, it was a chess match. It was a chess match, and the bars are really what took it home. Because I think if you ask most people, especially when you talk to like a casual hip hop fan who's just kind of following the battle but isn't digging into necessarily every single line, they're all like, I like the way that Kendrick moved in this battle.
Yes.
Like they like Meet the Grahams, but they like the way Meet the Grahams dropped better than they like the record.
Mm-hmm. And I think the secret recipe, and I'll get your opinion Head too. I want to know how you feel when I say it. It's like it segues to what's about to happen. Where now we live in a world where it's Ken and Friends. We have this show coming out at the Forum, like 10 days away. And I'm in New York, and I have fools talking about they sneaking back into LA, like, you want to see this thing. You know, the defining line of all this is sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. And the idea that Kendrick Lamar, you know, could be that.
What you think about what he said?
About the battle not being...
No, sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas.
Oh, I think sometimes you got to pop out.
Yeah. No, and the idea that Kendrick, you got to pop out clean.
Yeah, just pop out and show.
Yo, you ain't going to catch some slippers, DJ Hed.
He tries every... There's going to be a compilation cut of DJ Hed trying to get me to say it. Never going to happen. They're gonna like
No,
rewind.
but the idea that like we know how Drake carried his head, how Drake carries himself. I'm always outside with the culture. I'm with Sexy Red. I'm with, Kendrick comes in, is more old school artist thing of like when he wants to be felt, he's felt. Then he goes away and disconnects, right? Yeah. So now with this battle, we have a Kendrick Lamar engaged. He's ready for whatever.
Now you see what
he's got his lunchbox. And he's ready for whatever you're about to do. And whatever you have, he already has another thing ready for it. That also brought sentiment that gave him an advantage. But he still did it, drew the music, and fair and square won the final. I'm not saying that's why he won. But we're not used to the idea of Kendrick Lamar being that in our culture, that active. We understand his importance to our culture, but we wasn't like clear on, this is so serious for him. He's outside. He's ready to go. Whatever comes at him.
Well, I think you what you're seeing now is an active dot, and active dot different. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to see the culmination of all of this, just like everybody else. And sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas, and then that's what type of time we on.
It's interesting because there's a lot of Drake fans who are reaching at something right now, and what their point is right now. What the point is right now that they're saying is that even Drake said it on the end of Hard Part 6. They're like, well, now I made you give your fans all these songs, and now Drake got you outside, and Drake got the stimulus package to get you #1, and now you have a show, and it's riding on the back of this Drake battle, and Drake is the one who really made you pop out. Like, what do you think?
Well, that's the equivalent. So when we used to play video games, I was better in video games than all the homies in the hood, right? So I'm a geek. So I'm better at Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, whatever you want to do. So we playing Mario Kart. So when we playing video games and I'm beating the shit out of you, right? I'm just whooping your ass. Then when the homie get mad, first thing he say, but you can't beat my ass though. That's what that is. That's what those comments are. It's like, bro, you clearly lost. It's cool. We good. Let's go get some food.
You didn't even lose in a dishonorable way.
You didn't. Just
you
go
won like a heavyweight
match.
But
yes. I bet you can't beat my ass though. That's the stereotypical response, and that's a clamoring for whatever you can hold on to. Now you're gonna assert physical dominance or whatever. Not saying they're gonna fight. That's not what I'm saying. It's a metaphor, people. God,
of course.
I know how these people
it's a metaphor.
Yeah,
Jesus, like
it's a metaphor.
It's not really highbrow engagement on this channel. But look, what I'm saying. I'm just saying, man. It's a metaphor.
It is.
But
there's highbrow engagement on our YouTube channel. We'll give them
right.
YouTube commenters.
They know what I'm talking about. I'm in 3-4 Reddit threads.
Yeah.
They be killing me, but whatever. But I think this show is the culmination of
Ken and Friends.
This show is a culmination of an active dot, and we've never seen this on this level, on this magnitude, and I'm super excited for this.
I was gonna say, DJ Hed, with all given your relationships, what should we expect for June 19th?
You should expect the pop out Ken and Friends at the Forum June 19th.
He's just gonna read it.
He's
just gonna read it.
It's gonna be in Inglewood, California.
Elliott,
West Coast.
I'll ask the question. I'll take the hit here. Do you think, Ed, that maybe for the sake, this is not for me or for Elliott, this is for us. This is for team building, for the panel, for the show to maybe get some chemistry.
Jeremy.
It's very important.
Team building is very
Do you think we
important.
could take a nice little retreat to the Ken and
You
Friends
mean we like
show?
us?
Yeah, us three. We could go together.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up.
Jeremy's like, how can I get in?
I'm just saying for the squad,
Let me answer this, because I provided some visual aid, and I would like to share this with the world. For everybody reaching out to me, this is a text message from my brother. He says, "Yo, bro, are you going to K-Dot's concert on Juneteenth?"
Here's where he started wrong.
Let me read it.
My bad. Yes.
Yo, bro, are you going to K-Dot's concert on Juneteenth? I said, yes. He said, can we go? What did I say, Elliott?
No.
Okay. And then then he says, laugh my ass off, worth the shot, have fun. What did I say, Elliott?
West Coast.
Okay. So there is no one on this stage, in this building, or in my phone that I love more than my little brother. And that's my text with him. So I want to take this as a general statement for life, and everybody that I love. There's nobody in my phone, on my social media, or in this building I love more than my little brother, and he can't go. So you know where you stand. That's just where I don't have no juice. I don't have no pool. I can't do nothing for you. West Coast.
But you're good. You'll be in the building.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We asked Ed if he knows anything. And he's like, no, I really don't know anything
No,
more.
I said DJ Head's gonna have to change his number because I know everybody's gonna be
I'm
hitting
not
him.
changing
Blah,
my
blah.
number. You know what I had?
He's just gonna tell everybody no.
I had an interesting conversation with Top Dog, and Top told me something changed my life years ago. He told me this because he hit Top Dog still has the same number for 20, 30 years as well. I have the same number since 2003. He said, Head, niggas who change their number don't know how to say no. I don't change my number.
They
Never
run
have,
from the no.
Never plan on changing it because it's people that's been locked up, people that moved out of country, whatever. Everybody got my number. I don't change my number. I answer the phone and tell you the truth. Like I
So
told my
does
little
it
brother.
almost represent like character integrity in a sense? Like you may have to have these tough conversations with people. It's like
It's not a tough conversation.
don't
for
change
me.
your numbers. Yeah.
It's not a tough conversation for me. I've had conversations with, I won't say the label, but at the record labels where their artist was terrible, and I told them I'm not supporting this. I've had conversations with street dudes who threatened me or whatever they was gonna do, and it was like, bro, y'all can do whatever you're gonna do. The music still is gonna be trash, and I'm not gonna support it.
That's not
so,
gonna change the
or we
fact.
can find an amicable solution to this, and I can help you find some better music. But that's not what I'm just saying that I don't run away from conversation. Just like
I'll give you a couple of East Coast guys that never changed their number. Q-Tip,
shout out to Q-Tip.
Busta Rhymes.
Busta, yep. Busta
They
got the
stand
same-
on business the same way. It's
Busta
like
got the
certain
same
people, it's
number,
like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that. But no, y'all can't go, Jay.
Uh,
Well, I'm not saying you can't go. I can't help you.
no. Well,
Jeremy, you know
well,
what I'm gonna do?
what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go to the front of the venue. I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm from Venice. What's good? It's Elliott
Give him a
Wilson.
wink.
I'm from Venice.
Show them the
What's
rat
up,
emoji.
baby?
You don't even sound like
Elliott Wilson, Venice.
You got a
Am
New
I
York
good?
lisp,
Yo,
Elliott
fam,
Wilson.
it's Elliott Wilson from Venice. What's up,
Elliot,
man?
you have a New York lisp.
I do, right? That's
You don't
bad.
sound
Isn't
like
it
you're from
bad?
Venice at all.
Damn.
The homies from over there. Hey, you know what? If you can't really do that, you can't really get that off a lot. You got to go see a couple of the homies. You know what I'm saying? Go tap in with like, Jeezy or somebody.
I'll try. I'll try.
The real interviews down there.
Here's it. Yeah, I accept the challenge though. I have to be in the building. I'm gonna find a way to get in. I'm gonna sneak in.
Me too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna figure it out.
But I also like that. I actually do like that. To me, I was telling your man before we got on mic. I like that he's doing it on a small, intimate level where it's like it's the B-sides thing, it's the Dollar and the Dream type thing.
Yeah.
It's like you should be blessed if you find a way to be in that building. It shouldn't be some guaranteed thing. It's a cultural moment. We don't even know 100% what we're gonna expect to see per se, but the idea that Kendrick Lamar and his team are curating some sort of night. And everybody can't go. I mean, that's what hip hop is. Everybody can't get inside.
Backwards
Certain
hat and
things,
glasses, LA shit.
Yeah, everybody can't.
West
Everybody
Coast.
can't go.
There we go. Match.
Okay, Jeremy, I got one last point though. Can we just one final thing on it? Just kind of speculate. It'd be because my thing was like, obviously we all know that we expect to have some kind of amazing, exciting moment when the Mustard record comes on. The
Yeah.
Not Like Us record happens, right? And then is it like a Watch the Throne niggas in
Run it
Paris
back.
where they do it 10 times, blah, blah. But my thing is like, and I don't think it's ever been done in hip hop. What if he literally just does all the diss records in the succession and sets the tone and how powerful that is? Because people, like again, what made this battle the greatest hip hop battle is the quality of the music and the output. So this isn't just like I have an ether, I have a hit him up. Like he can literally do Euphoria, 616, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. And then from there, it's like a party. And if YG want to come out, it's just a fucking zoo.
Yeah,
But
let's
you can literally
speculate.
tell the story.
Because we won't even look this way for just this 1 minute segment. I know you would react in a certain way. Maybe you'd smile. They're gonna look at the DJ Head smiled
They
when
gonna
they said
analyze
it.
everything?
We won't even
So I
wide
sit
cam
like
it.
this?
We won't even wide cam it. Elliot,
No,
what
you
if-
can wide cam it.
okay, well wide cam
I'm
it.
not trimming it.
Okay, let's just
I
speculate.
ain't got nothing to say.
Predictions. Who comes out that day? Any special
Snake in my
song
phone.
performances?
Play
Does he do
Snake.
not Like Us 5 times? Does he do all the diss records? Which ones doesn't he do? Does he
Yeah.
say anything about Drake on
Well, I
stage?
don't
What do
know
you
what's
think's
gonna happen, but I'm voting for what I would like to see happen.
Yeah.
If I was curating in my Magic hip hop fan mode, I'd want to see I'd want to come out to him on some dark ass cloud shit, doing the Teddy Pendergrass shit and doing Euphoria and setting the tone, taking me through the diss records, and then it just turns into just great West Coast music with other great West Coast MCs coming out doing records, and then the night starts about being about this battle, but then it's more than that. It's deeper than that. So it segues from that. It's not just about I battle Drake. It's like get that off, and then it's just like it also speaks to his place in hip hop and the power of the West Coast hip hop movement.
I think he comes out to like that, I think he starts off with Like That. I think.
Oh, I didn't even say Like That. That's crazy.
I think.
Like That.
I don't know if Future's gonna be there, but I think Like That is gonna be like an intro, like just to set the tone. I
would look at Like That as an encore, honestly.
That's like an end. I think Not Like Us is gonna be an encore, but he's gonna do it middle of the show too. Yeah. I think he might do it 2 or 3 times. I could also see him like waiting till the very end to do it. I think Head's just on his phone texting.
Head, do you want the cheeseburger? Do you want the gyro?
I don't know what these
turkey club.
He's like, I don't know what.
Head is ordering lunch.
We actually do have to clear something up with Top Dog though.
Yes.
Is he around for a
see.
call?
Let me see.
Last
Wait, what happened? We have problems?
No problems. Oh. It was just so a story we told. Where you happened to be there too. You didn't see the exact thing that happened.
I went off to talk to Macklemore.
Yeah, you were talking to Macklemore.
Has some things to address with me. You have to give Macklemore his time when he wants to talk to you. So we went to the other side of the room, and then allegedly some sort of conflict happened between J. Cole and Puffy, and Kendrick was around. And I don't believe your theory of like, he was besmirching this and Cole was defending Kendrick.
Yeah.
As far as I've ever heard after that, and I wasn't there, I did walk across the room with Macklemore. I do not believe that was the account of actually what happened at evening.
And so we got clarity of somebody who was there that is not what actually happened. What we said on the pod, and I'll take the blame and credit for this. My theory, based on what I had read, was that Cole was defending Kendrick to Diddy, and that there was some drama over the King of New York shit that Kendrick said.
And again, I don't 100% know the truth, but what I heard, my speculation to me that I felt was Cole felt the way about it, talked to Kendrick about it, had their little exchange. I'm not saying it was on some rah-rah shit, and then Puffy kind of seeing their tension, instigating the moment and stirring things up, and then things went left.
So that's similar to what Top was saying. Well, should we wait for him to call back later? Or should we just clear?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if he's available.
Okay, all right. We'll come back to that, but basically we'll get the full clarity on the story.
See how the bigger picture tries to clear things up and just make sure we're as accurate as possible.
We are
not as accountable as possible.
I'm a DJ. I'm not a journalist.
You can only say that
like,
so
why
long.
are you standing on that so hard? Hard. Pause.
You have a new show now too? Or are you just a DJ there too?
I'm not a journalist. I'm a DJ.
You are more than a DJ.
No, I'm more than that. But I just want to be clear.
What does that mean, though? You mean you're not judged by a certain?
I think journalism is a real thing, and I take it serious. Even when I started DJing, I didn't call myself DJ until I felt like I earned it.
Yeah.
So I take journalism. Journalism is a real craft, and I think everybody who get podcast mics are not journalists, and I'm not. I don't claim that if I'm not that.
I'm trying to behave. I'm a chill. I received that, DJ Hed.
West Coast.
West Coast.
It's at the top of my feed, pinned.
Do you think people try to, because of this media attention with this situation,
it's not this situation,
try to pull you into this?
I've been in media for 15 years. The thing is, I just know that there's a lot of disrespect around the craft of journalism. Journalism is a craft, just like rapping, just like producing, just like dancing. It's all a craft. Culinary. So I think when people just call you something, it discredits the amount of work that people put in to become that thing. Like I said, when I was a DJ, I was DJing 2-3 years before I allowed people to call me a DJ. Yeah. Don't call me a DJ. I haven't earned it.
You felt you had to put the work in to
100%.
earn what being a DJ looked like.
100%.
So what is your place to you right now? Like, we're building a media platform. You have an important voice.
Correct.
You don't have to ever be a traditional journalist.
Yeah.
But how do you balance that?
When I feel like I earn it, then I'll let y'all get that. Right now, I haven't earned that.
Would you say media personality, though?
I'm a media guy for sure.
Yeah. Because I don't even consider myself a journalist. I would say media personality and host. But I think to your pedigree, writing,
I started as a journalist, an actual being older. But those were the avenues. There wasn't you had to go to the sources and the vibes and the double XLs to get your voice. It wasn't. The other way wasn't an option.
I think that see
load my video.
And I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. We got hella stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But hip hop, I always say this, and I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody, but hip hop and gang culture are the only two things that we let anybody participate in. Just anybody off the street, with no qualifications, right?
That's a bar.
So right now, Jay, you have a problem. You need a heart transplant, and she's like, oh, I'm a heart surgeon, just because. You're not gonna let her work on you.
No.
We allow that in hip hop and we allow that in gang street culture. Nowhere else is that okay. Everybody has to earn their stripes. You have to have some sort of qualification. You have to have certifications, go to school, etc. And this can go way deeper than that. But that's why I stand on that. So no, you haven't earned that. You don't have any qualifications. You don't. You're not an actor just because you do scenes in your house. No, you have to. There's qualifications that come with that. Now, what that may be, to what level? Meek Mill's levels to this shit. You might be at a certain level. He's at a certain level. You're at one. I'm at one. It just depends. But I hate that we take away from certain crafts just because you started cooking. You're not a chef. I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, and I think to some degree, the audience or the game chooses that, right? Who stays in.
I agree.
The entryway might same with
market,
being a rapper right now. Anybody could pick up a mic and
you have to
load
earn
a
your
song
place
on Spotify,
in the market.
but
You have to earn your place in the marketplace, no matter whatever ecosystem. Right.
Certain people that you allow in, you got, like, I'll give you an example, not disrespectful, Post Malone, right? Post Malone came in as a hip hop artist, right? Denounced the fact that he was a hip hop artist.
He did say he didn't, yeah.
Right, and then he's frequently allowed to participate. And I like Post Malone. I like him I like his music and whatnot. I didn't at first, just based on some cultural shit. But he's allowed to come and go as he please. Certain media personalities can do that. Like at the end of the day, even you, for example, like me, I'm me wherever I go. I'm hip hop wherever I go. Everybody else, like certain people that I know that participate in the space, they could take their hat off and go home, and they don't have to participate on any level. That's why I treat it with a certain esteem and respect. Yeah.
Well, to that point, I mean, I was always so conscious of that I'm like, even if I go to another space, I'm taking hip hop with me.
Facts.
Because I might be, I might be able to be on a red carpet and be at the Grammys or something like that. But I'm asking, what's your Billie Eilish? What's the first rap verse you ever learned?
No, that's true.
Like the same way that Joe Rogan would take MMA everywhere because that's a part of him.
Yeah.
Like hip hop culture is the only thing I know. I always was conscious when I saw Post Malone and stuff do that, where it's like, okay, cool. Even he has a #1 song right now as a country song.
Correct.
Yeah.
So no disrespect to Post Malone.
You
I
saying
love
we're
Post
not getting
Malone.
another White Iverson? It's never gonna happen. White Iverson Volume 2.
If this stops working,
You think you're ever gonna see Post Malone in individuals, in braids and shit? You think that's gonna happen? At this point,
I think
ain't gonna make no hits with Quavo no more. No Quavo,
bro. You're not gonna get that. But I'm not picking on Post. I
No,
like
we get it.
Post.
We love Post.
example,
I'm just
yeah.
using the
Shout out Dre
example.
London, his manager.
People, shout out to Dre. It's my guy. But like people
They're
are
good
allowed
people.
to come and go as they please.
Yeah.
That's why I stand on that so tough to answer your question. It's just,
Express your
you can't
intent.
be a journalist. I mean, you can't be this one day and then be that one day and then like no. There's still the certs that go with this shit.
But Hed, do you think that's part of because people view your proximity to this whole Kendrick Drake thing and this being the biggest thing? Like, is that the problem of then people may not know as much about your history and trying to pull you a certain way
That's
and
fine.
say you're that?
Yeah, that's fine. At the end of the day, the market decides what it is. Period. It's a free market. It's capitalism. That's the country we live in, the world, the culture. So the market decides if you're relevant, if you're irrelevant, if you're good, if you're not good, if you are this or you're that. Cool. I'm cool with that. I'm just stating my distinction.
That's why I even though like the final thing, because I know we got a segue. That's why I think it was funny. Some fans, it was just like, Elliott, you're clout chasing. He didn't say, rat emoji, blah, blah. He was talking academics-y type thing. Like, but like, no, I'm still voicing this thing, like, no matter what. And like you said, the marketplace, they value that, right? No matter what. So I'm sorry, I'm still here. Like, you can make all your jokes all fucking day, how old I am or whatever the fuck, like, but the marketplace, I found my way to always still make impactful work in this marketplace. I've earned it. I'm dedicated to this shit. And it's important to me. And you see what happens, why the results are there,
Let's go.
That was a pop-out.
I popped up.
Sorry,
I didn't
okay.
go quick.
Listen,
you got to pop out and show them.
People. Sometimes
I was
you do it to
inspired
people.
by.
Yeah. But listen, transitioning through Post Malone, who actually has now the #1 song in the world, and Eminem with
Marshall
number
Mathers.
2 at Houdini.
Look at him.
There he
Doesn't
is,
that look
sitting
good?
top
Like,
of the
why
chart.
does that make me happy? And I don't
I
necessarily.
like Eminem. I like Tommy Richmond being up there.
Yep.
Dot. Yeah.
Even shout out to Shabuzi too.
They gonna take that and run. Oh, that's shade. He shaded like, nah, bro. You shaded Sabrina Carpenter.
Damn,
You
that
gonna
was
fuck about
Sabrina
that
Carpenter. You know what's so funny about? We can get back to M in a second, but Funk Flex just dropped a rant on 97 about Tommy. Why are you hating on Tommy Richmond, Flex? I don't know. If
I'm gonna tell you why. You don't want him with it?
Yeah.
And DJ Hed is a DJ. You could probably explain this.
Yeah, I got you.
There's a point where you're like, you're this innocent person. You feel like I grew up being this way, being a young kid. High 97 is our Bible. I grew up in New York City. I remember the first time I was a guest, and God bless her, I love her, Angie Martinez. I was a guest on her show, and this is like XXL era, early on. And the energy of the DJs that do their shifts, how they start to hate the music that they're playing in their shifts because they're programmed to play these 20, 40 songs are
50 times a day
at certain points. So when you're in the studio with them, you think it's going to be this most amazing energy of like, we're going to listen to all the hits and Angie's turned up. She got the volume like super low. But I think when you're a kid, you think that person is playing the music they want you to hear.
Yeah.
They're in control.
Yeah.
Right. And then we have the mix show culture,
Yeah.
which is what Flex comes from, where to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, DJ Hed, you have certain windows where you can play records.
Correct.
But then you better get back to those impact records.
The hits.
You better get back to those records that have the data that says it's right there. You may get a bar, blah, blah. So to me, the Flex thing is just a classic thing of like, he personally as a DJ with all his history, he doesn't like that record. He feels it's kind of a crossover kind of record. He doesn't like it, but he got to play that motherfucker. He got to play that record. So there's that there's that distance and that resentment of, I don't want my hip hop to sound like this, but this is a hit. And now I got to play that record.
I think that's fine too, to not like all of the songs you play. You come from radio. I was in radio for a long time. That's fine. You get sick of songs. But I just think it was a little disrespectful to hate on this song and this kid during this moment.
Why?
Because you can not like the song, but to take away from his moment in a way that he did, I don't think was the right move. I think I have not heard. No, listen. I have never heard anyone say or not vibe to the song or not like this song when it's been played, and that's fine to dislike it. I know you don't like a lot of shit. We all don't like things too.
I have no problem with this record.
Right, but to shit on it and say, it sounds like, what did he say? Like shoe store music, and it's this kid just but we can play the clip. I personally don't think that this was a necessary thing to say. That's all.
Let
me hear.
For Fliggity.
If you're someone that likes this song, you
like it, you're a clown.
What song you talking about, Flex? This song. I don't know what the rest of his songs sound like. I don't even know who Tommy Richmond is. It sounds like a shoe store.
That's a funny bar. That's funny. Not cool.
Yeah. Now we're gonna document this hot garbage. We're gonna play it though. I know you want to hear it though. I wonder if this is big in the club. See, this part is deceiving. Like it might be a good song.
He said the beat's
Watch the terrible part as it comes in.
Might be a good song.
Until he started singing.
He doesn't like the way that comes into the song.
You hear the tin can drums? There it goes.
Damn.
Remember, if you're someone that likes this song, you are a clown.
But what I'm saying is, I haven't heard anyone.
Now I'm a rat and a clown.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't heard anyone dislike that. It's actually been one of the more unifying songs ever. Like, it's such a diverse audience that's listening to this song. All types of parties I've been at, everybody's vibing. I just think allow the moment to happen if it's already happening. That's what I think.
He's kind of stepping
you can dislike
on the
the
song.
song.
He's stepping on the moment.
I think,
but do you think DJs struggle with that at times? Where it's like, what do you mean?
They don't.
Of playing a record that we know because market says it's worthy. I personally don't think that record's worthy.
No. So what happens is you get desensitized to records, right? I play records all the time that I don't like, whether it's on the radio. I have a new radio show, effective immediately. I just played a couple records I didn't like. That's not to say that I have to step on the moment. So to y'all credit, you do have to go out of your way to hate on something. Right? You don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
You could just not say nothing, right?
Nobody was asking Flex,
now,
yo, Flex, what you think about that time?
If somebody asks you a question on the bigger picture, then you answer the question.
Yeah.
That's different. Going out of your way to step on a moment, then cool. Like, if that's what he chooses to do. But I don't know why people expect anything different. That's Flex. Like, why is it surprising to us?
We shouldn't be shocked, I guess.
No, like this is Flex. That's what he does. This is who he is. We listen to Flex for that. So because you being from New York City wanted that energy from Flex on both ends of the spectrum, whether it 100%. Be fuck Tupac or whether it be I Get Money is the greatest thing on earth. And I remember both moments.
Yes, Flex believing in a record, dropping the bombs and all that took things to another level. Look at how many lives he changed and careers he helped with that. If he believed in something and he supported it. So he's earned that place in it. But do you think that DJ has a certain responsibility head of like, I don't let my personal feelings go across the market per se or the people?
No, because we have an opinion just like everybody else, which is why I make the distinction. I'm not a journalist, I'm a DJ. So I have an opinion about the music that might be going out. Like I got cooked last week for the J Electronica shit. I'll keep getting, every week I'm getting cooked for that, right? I brought it up on the Joe Budden podcast, right? And in my take on, I'm still getting cooked in my mentions right now about Jermaine Dupri. Like, if you have an opinion and you're outward about your opinion, you're gonna get adversity no matter how you look at it, right? The thing about this specific song is whenever you're on the opposite side of the popularity, you look crazy no matter what. And that goes to what I was saying, like Exhibit C. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. Now, I didn't go on a rant about how much of a this and that and all that kind of shit, or his rhyme scheme not even that crazy. Y'all are just simpletons. I didn't do none of that. You know what I mean? Like, that's when it becomes excessive. It's a difference between, again, the Dot and Drake beef. It's a difference between winning and to getting your point across and then using use of excessive force.
Yeah.
Completely different things, right? So what he's doing is excessive, but that's who he is. He's been excessive the whole time. So if somebody is outwardly running I Get Money back, I remember when I Get Money dropped. The only way I can get the record was with Flex all over the record. The only way I can get Fabulous records was the Clue all over the records. Desert Storm.
Yeah, you have to listen back to that. Yeah.
I know Desert Storm drops because of Fabulous. That's a fact.
Shout out Clue. I saw him in New York.
You understand what I'm saying?
Illuminati.
So because of those moments, I remember that thing, you get the energy. Now, whether it goes your way or not, you get the same energy.
Yeah, it's still him.
It's still the same thing. So I don't look at it like that. Now, from a DJ's perspective, we play records all the time we don't like, bro. And like I play records that not like Broccoli. I didn't like Broccoli, right?
Yachty and Drum.
I didn't like that song, right? It was a hit record. It was a big. It ain't a now two things as a DJ. You serve the people or you serve the entity. If I'm DJing a Hip Hop DX party and I'm being hired to play music for Hip Hop DX, whoever the Hip Hop DX who contracted me is who I'm playing music for. First. Secondary is the people. Third is yourself. So I play music for people. I don't play music for myself. If I play music for myself, you know what you would hear.
Blink 182.
No.
Eminem.
I might throw a Blink song in there, but you would hear
West Coast.
Pretty much all of our shit, because that's what I like to play.
Stuff you'd want to champion.
But it's not me, though. It's not. But as a DJ, you're in servitude to the people.
So I guess my last question with that is that should we respect, or like that's number 3 in the charts? Clearly, it's a hit record.
Put it back up.
One of the biggest records of the year.
Yeah.
Do you have to almost respect a hit record? Like if a hit record does land, and the marketplace says no, that record actually good. Do we all have to kind of humble ourselves and respect that record, maybe if we don't even love that record?
Yes.
No, because the Kanye and Lil Pump song, I think that hit number 1.
What?
I
love it.
I can't defend that record.
I love that song.
You love that song?
Well, that's egregious.
Hold on.
Let me tell you, it's 104 BPM and it got a crazy bass line. I'm a DJ, bro. I love that song.
That one made me feel
My
stupider.
favorite is DJ Hed with the BPMs. That's my favorite.
I love it. But I'm a DJ. I'm not a journalist.
You saw when somebody with the Drake Sexy Red, it was like, Head was right. Drake came back with Sexy Red at whatever the BPMs was.
84
That's what we needed. DJ Hed saw the vision.
Bro, I'm a DJ, bro. But I wanted this Eminem song. Well, first of all, shout out to Tommy Richmond.
Shout out to Tommy Richmond, man.
But this Eminem song is I want to say this a PSA to all artists, chefs, producers. Give the people what they want. When you give the people what they want,
you see the results.
And I have a saying: when you fuck with the people fuck with you. Eminem number 2 in the country. That's crazy because when's the last time he had a number 2?
That's his version of pop out to show people like give him what you love from you.
Yeah. And I said that when the song debuted, we sat right here and I was like, yo, I like this song. Got cooked. DJ Hed likes this Eminem song.
They were cooking for that?
What? See, I'm gonna start tagging y'all in my mentions be crazy. They be saying all kind of disrespectful.
Where you put somebody said you had a fatty liver.
Oh, I'm a fat ass, shut up, fat bitch. All kind of disrespectful shit. It don't matter because they wouldn't say it to me in person. But I'm just saying,
they ain't sending rat emojis though.
I like this Eminem song. I like the Eminem song.
It was a good song. I mean, he
I
did
like
what
that
he needed to
record.
do.
I like that record.
Yeah, I like that record.
I like that record.
Okay.
Oh, what, you ain't like that record?
Yo, they also.
I just like in the year of 2024. Also, again, being the OG in the building, like it's amazing that Eminem in the year of 2024 could have the number 2 record in the country. Like I don't think that should be dismissed. Like we come from an era where rappers didn't have I come from an era where rappers didn't have longevity. Their careers didn't go long, like forever. Like
I got a hot take.
please.
And this is gonna go into the next thing I want to talk about, Russ, but allowing people who are fans to participate in the music business has decreased the value of the music business, in my humble opinion, right?
I agree.
So my hot take is I think Eminem is gonna surpass Post Malone to go number 1.
Next week. So we're gonna sit here
He's on
next
his
week.
heels.
Number 2 is gonna be
I think Eminem's gonna go number 1 over Post Malone.
He could be Morgan Wallen too.
Because and this is what's fucked up about allowing people to come and go. Eminem has never left hip hop.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
That is a fact. Yeah.
Can we agree?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Post Malone, we all know that. This is a
We're
country
not
record.
waiting for White Iverson. Yeah,
Country
again,
song.
Country record, right? Because and this is what I always trying to explain to the Caucasians who run these companies and the buildings, you cannot quantify cultural cachet. You can't put it on an Excel sheet. It doesn't work that way. Eminem has more cultural capital than Post Malone does, and he'll go number 1.
I like that take.
Be interesting
I
to
like
see.
that take.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I love him in number 2. If he doesn't hit number 1, I'm satisfied. Just you know him because he's one of the greatest. I have the same issues a lot of fans have of the later output and the albums and the quality compared to earlier parts of the catalog. I think that is a fair critique, but it started getting to the point where people were just acting like it was all BS and he didn't deserve how people viewed him historically in hip hop, and that's bullshit. Because anybody that was even close in age-wise knows what that was. It wasn't fake. It wasn't fabricated. So to see him back on charts in the year of 2024, it's just inspiring to me.
It's fire, man. I like Eminem, bro. I'm not obviously we all have our critiques about his later albums and whatnot. I just really hope that this album matches this energy.
Yeah, me too.
Because if it matches this energy, Eminem's gonna have a number 1 album release in the country, and I want that for him.
And the respect
I do
level will
too.
be back on his name because this is already helping. But I
Yeah,
would
because
love
that's
to
his
see.
legacy. That's his legacy.
Yeah, this
that's
is legacy.
his legacy.
And I love if
he is one of the great ones.
if he came back and dropped an album that was unanimously or mostly unanimously respected and loved, then we go, okay, it's possible to go downward for a bit, have people kind of throw dirt on your name and pop back into the spot that you
Because even
had.
when he did the cypher for BET, like people's like, oh shit, Eminem can rap. Duh.
Yeah,
Where you been?
Yeah, where,
Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like, it's fucking Eminem, bro. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. Like,
no, literally. I also wanted to get your guys' opinion on best debut songs ever. I made a list of some that came to the top of my mind because we had Tommy Richmond here, and I saw Ed Sheeran or somebody was talking about it in the pop world, but I haven't seen anybody do it in the hip hop world where it was the perfect debut single. So let's just say not the first song they ever made, but the single that introduced them to the world.
Okay.
Okay, so the ones that I had here were Bryson Tiller, Don't.
No.
Hey, we can argue after. I'll
Okay,
give you a
all right.
list. Okay. And these are the ones that I experienced.
No,
These are the ones that I experienced. Don't do Bryson Tiller like that. Okay.
What you
They
mean?
All right,
said
hold on.
don't.
Okay. Cudi, Day and Night. Tyler, Yonkers. Kanye, Through the Wire. Nelly, Country Grammar. ASAP Ferg.
Nelly's
Hold on,
hard.
hold on.
Country
Wait,
Grammar,
go what?
ASAP Ferg, Work. XXXTentacion, Look at Me. Not a perfect mix by any means, but perfect intro to the world. Depending on where you look at 50s catalog, In the Club, or
In
if
the
you want to
Club.
say How to Rob in like the underground scene. Party and Bullshit, big. Peso, ASAP. Hustlin', Rick Ross. Doo-Wop, Lauryn Hill. Still Tippin'. Bodak Yellow, if we want to give that as her debut single. Don't Like by Chief Keef. Okay.
In a real way.
Regulate, Warren G, and Grindin' by the Clips. if
I'm
you wanna
gonna
give them that.
I'm gonna get cooked for this.
Okay. All right. I'm ready.
I like when DJ Head predicts the backlash before he even says.
Because I know
His
how
opinion.
people think, oh, you gonna say regulate. No, I'm not. Shout out to G-Dub.
Nothing but a G thing?
No.
okay.
I'm gonna go Country Grammar.
Yeah, no, that stood out to me when you read that list.
Out
Country
of
Grammar
that
is a
list,
song.
I'm gonna go Country Grammar. I got 2 reasons off the top of my head.
Okay.
First reason, don't have nothing to do with the record being diamond. Nothing to do with it. First reason is first rapper on that level to become a global superstar from that region, from that section.
St. Louis.
Right?
Shout out Nelly.
Second, that sound, actually I got 3. Second, that sound was introducing the world to what that is, right? The same thing as like NWA introducing gangster rap or
Straight Outta Compton.
Ice-T, however you want to look at it, right? No disrespect. But the third reason is because he's talking crazy on that record.
Yeah.
And you got little kids.
They didn't realize
They had to bleep out half the hook.
You got little kids. I'm going down, baby. Yo, street in the streets. Like he talking about killing niggas.
Street sweeper, chopper, ready to let it go. We
Like-
didn't catch none of that. We
So
didn't catch none of it.
In the moment, people thought it was a nursery rhyme.
Yeah, soft.
But he's saying real cold gangster shit on that record.
If you fuck with me, I'm going to my car.
record
I'm gonna
became
get my gun and shoot you.
the record became the biggest record in the world, not even in the country, in the world, and it defined a whole sound. It introduced us to a sound in a region that had pretty much gone undiscovered. That's why I'm gonna say country rap.
Yeah, I think it's always, to your point, Jeremy, I think it's always fascinating. What's the record that changed that person's life, right? Like, what's the record that finally? And a lot of times, what's crazy to me with hip hop, to segue it off a little bit, is that record may still not ever be that person's record. Like, as years go on, you go see them on tour, it might not even be in the set list.
Yeah.
Here's some great examples. If it's Drake, it's Best I Ever Had.
Yeah.
That was the first record that brought him to the world. You probably hard pressed to ever see Drake do Best I Ever Had at a show
maybe
in
it's
a
that New York
genuine
show.
way. But 2 Chainz, Spend It, what was that first record that whatever? But with a Nelly moment, it was a global smash that like his whole identity is that record.
You know who you left off that list and you a hater for that?
Uh-oh.
Soulja Boy, tell him.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
You a hater? Don't be a
Soulja's
hater.
somewhere right now already tweeting.
Don't be a
at
hater.
it.
Don't make him cut a video.
Crank that
Don't make
deserves-
him cut a video on Jeremy. Jeremy, tell me you're sorry.
Soulja, I love you. Crank
Soulja
that
Boy-
deserves to be on that
Soulja
list.
Boy
I
was
Hey,
will
boy!
show that.
He for
What the
sure-
bigger-
he
what
for
the
sure
bigger
will-
picture
will-
shit?
will
What's
cut a
that?
promo on your, he gonna cut a promo on your ass. But
He apologized.
I agree, though.
Jeremy apologized. Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy, I do apologize to you. That song is one. I don't know where am I looking right here. One of the greatest hip hop singles of all time.
Love
Still
you,
has
Soulja.
people
I love
dancing.
you, Soulja.
I agree.
all facts. Stop
And
playing.
I'll give you a
Stop playing with
sidebar.
Dre.
I'll give Soulja
Big
Boy
Draco.
off the record to keep him happy.
Big Draco.
I was on a tour, but I've been on buses.
Big Draco.
Hove and B love off the record. Hove and B love. Hop up my bed, turn my swag on.
How you gonna say
Wait,
off
is
the
this
record
off the
and say
record?
it
You're
on the
saying-
record?
Yeah, it's a blurry line.
Fuck is you
I'm
talking
gonna
about?
bring off the record to on the record.
What the fuck is Elliott talking
Allegedly, the Carters and Elliott Wilson have enjoyed the Turn My Swag On record together
Okay.
many a time.
Bro,
She
Soulja
even
Boy's
did
an
a remix,
amazing
right?
contributor to culture. Sorry.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy defined a generation,
100%.
and I think
Look at Soulja.
I think
Look how
he's
ready
the-
we are
I
at all
think he needs to
times.
be
Man. Look at
included
the
in that
team.
list, bro. Soulja Boy, tell him for real. He one of them ones.
Look at the team.
Shout out to Alex.
But I'm still
But
gonna
if,
go
but if
with,
you actually tell him you're a rat, let's not forget. Don't tell him.
still gonna
Don't tell
go
him
with-
anything.
I'm still gonna go with Nelly, but Soulja Boy, tell him still. They low key, he might be close for
If-
impact.
If you
Nah, I'll go with I like your Nelly pick. I think your Nelly pick is still the strongest pick. Because we don't even know what a Nelly is. Like that record brings us everything. It
Well,
brings
you got to
us
think about it,
who
right?
he is. He's a cool, good-looking dude.
Country Grammar
This
came out
is
when?
his city. It's
I think
2000. 2000.
Came out 2000 flat,
2000.
right? Okay, so who was doing melodic rap on that level before Nelly?
Nobody. On that not that
not
style.
to that
not
pop,
that
like
style.
pop level, right? Where because like you said, it's a diamond hit. But I think there's definitely people who
Oh, I
used
know
melody
that.
before. But to take it to that level, where that's even that song to your point was a hit, I don't think.
Bro,
anybody-
think about this.
I gotta give you my Nelly XXL story.
He
too.
was saying wild shit in melody, right?
Yeah, we had no idea about those.
and we
words.
didn't know. So if you fast forward, that formula is still being used right now.
yeah,
Like I
Yes.
was listening to your boy Cash, and I was listening to other things like not Cash because he does love songs, but other people.
some of the Joe songs like the Pain melody over auto tune.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And it was like, oh, like that DNA is still out here, bro. Like Nelly changed the game in a real way. And I
Yeah.
think people, because it's so pop, people don't want to give him that credit like he ain't a hip hop. Like Nelly is hip hop.
One of my biggest
Yeah.
regrets during my XXL era was fronting on Nelly.
You fronted on
And
Nelly?
the whole staff fronted him. I'm gonna tell you, because this is 2000. This is the era where sometimes the labels would get the records before all of us and send the advanced cassette, out to the thing. So we all had the whole Country Grammar album, but nobody would really listen to it because it's like he's from St. Louis and this, blah, blah. But no one so we would get these advanced cassettes, my whole team, my staff, nobody paid attention to them. We had Little Kim was on one of her comebacks, I think it's 2000. I secured the Little Kim cover, couldn't tell me nothing. I'm winning, Little Kim's on the cover, she's popping her shit, blah, blah. Come out first week SoundScan, I think Nelly spanked her. Nelly came out of nowhere, his number was insane compared to Little Kim. Number 1 album in the country out of nowhere. And I'm like, wait, the Nelly guy that fucking, we have the cassette, we have the album. Has anyone listened to this shit? I put the album in, I play the album. I'm like, this nigga got Country Grammar, he got the EI, he got hits on that album. And none of us took it seriously because we had all these stereotypical divide of Midwest and South, and these things aren't as worthy as East, sitting in the New York office thinking our shit dictates everything. I got Little Kim. So I get spanked. I do that cover. And then my mission after that was, I remember he had a great publicist, Wendy Washington. I called, kissed his ass. I got him on the cover like very the next month. Like, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I didn't see it. I'm going to St. Louis tomorrow. Whatever we could do, shoot you, do the cover, blah, blah. Like, I didn't see it. We were wrong. My team fucked up. I fucked up.
So when did you realize you was wrong? After the numbers came out?
SoundScan first week. And then I listened to it. And then I was
didn't
like,
even listen to it?
None of it. I would also say the staff didn't, not effectively listen to it or understand what that was.
Damn, Elliott.
That record did not just have Country Grammar. EI was a hit. Like, pull it up, Jeremy. Like,
bro, I know.
There's 4 or 5 hits on the album.
Bro,
like,
I know.
Yeah.
Fucking St. Louis is on there.
Yeah.
Batter Up. Like,
we fronted the East Coast bias at that time.
I feel
we fronted. Our chest was out. I had Lil Kim. I was good. Like, I
feel you.
It was wrong.
I feel
Yeah,
you.
But
I was humble and smart enough in real time. Literally, I'm talking about once that record, whatever, like, he has to be the next cover. Bro, whatever I had planned, I'm canceling it, right?
Bro, the Free
Ride
City,
With Me's on there.
Ride With Me, yeah.
Ride With Me, the Free
Country
City
Grammar,
album.
Ride With Me, and EI, and all that shit. Come on, man. Like,
so here's the thing, right? And I'm glad you admit. Thank you for admitting that.
Thank you, brother.
But a lot of people front on Nelly's contribution to the culture.
100%.
And I'm glad you said that because I've seen hella journalists and tastemakers and other people completely discount Nelly's contribution. And I'm like, yo, wasn't he low-key the first rapper to go diamond? Am I mistaken?
One of the early ones, if not the first. Like,
I think he was
up there.
I think he was the first one. And so, like,
that's a classic hip-hop album with mega hits on that record.
Facts.
And we dismissed it like, oh, this is some bullshit.
But do you think so? Here's the question: do you think that because I don't know where you were when Country Grammar came out, but you were already established in your office and whatnot. So the temperament was that liking to the same with that New York and the established culture of the East Coast treated the South? Is that similar?
Yeah, similar.
Okay,
I would say so. But to your point,
because niggas fronted on.
But to your point, even worse.
Niggas fronted on
because
UGK too.
No, you're right. Texas, yeah.
And so I'm just saying a lot of those different regions felt the way, but the way he came was different.
And that's what I'm saying. It was actually worse than the South because, like you said, that was such an untapped market, the Midwest.
Yeah.
And also he didn't play the game of the industry to get on. He just did his vision, blah, blah. Then when he came back, I remember he jumped on with the Freeway Rockefeller, the Rock the Mic remix. Everybody was just so in love with Nelly's on that joint.
Yeah, he did.
Nelly showed love to this thing. And it's like, oh, we standing up for Nelly. Like, once he did that, he was solidified. Like, Nelly on that joint had a little back and forth with KRS-One. Yeah. And he won the battle. He actually won the battle with KRS-One, one of the icons of hip-hop in the 80s. And no disrespect to Chris,
you know what?
the teacher.
I'm going to say this, too, and we can move on. But that list you just read off, I don't think anybody is close to Nelly. And the second would be Soulja Boy Tell 'Em.
That record is crazy.
I'm just gonna I know that sound crazy. Out of all this, you read through The Wire, Kanye, Cardi B.
I picked Nelly. I Nelly is the pick too.
And that was just to clarify. That was just my personal list. There's a lot of songs that came that I didn't
50
get to
Cent
experience.
in the club.
Yeah.
I would. That's a close second.
Yeah,
close second would be 50 Cent in the club because it's Dr. Dre, Eminem, like it was 50s. I don't think we've ever seen anything like 50 Cent's debut.
Well, I always say that because he was the biggest.
I don't think we've seen anything like that since then.
Yes, it never can be matched.
And the way he shook I always go back to that clip where Irv is talking about on Hot 97, him coming into the studio and going, guys, we got the new record. He plays it and he's like, oh, this beat is crazy. I don't know what he's going to do on the, he's got a melody. He's got lyrics too. He's like, we've got a problem. And like, I don't know that anybody's came in the game and shaking it up like that.
And came in, but see, it wasn't the fact that, it wasn't even his numbers. It was his demeanor, his attitude, and his presence. He was unapologetically him.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
at that point, you got to think that was right on the heels of Eminem taunting the pop world.
Yeah.
And so 50 reintroduced quote unquote gangster rap to the ecosystem on a major scale, from industry wide. And I think that more people was like, you know what? I want to be like this guy instead of being like,
Yeah.
And can I add one last point to that? You said the pop world in the club and the Dre affiliation, but he conquered the pop world. But we had never seen, 800K first week, 800K gig, whatever. But then he didn't stop doing the mixtapes, even with the success.
Facts.
So now you have a guy, he's literally the hottest guy in the underground, whatever your little street, whatever, all the thorough cities, Chicago, Detroit, or whatever, like the hottest nigga in the streets, and he's the biggest pop star.
Yeah.
He's Eminem's protege.
Conquering both
He's
worlds.
killing both. Like, we never saw an MC conquer both worlds at the same time the way 50
I
did.
never saw a man on TRL in a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
And
Like,
actually,
what-
and actually needed. It wasn't a fashion statement.
You know what I'm
This
saying?
is not just for fashion.
You got to pull it. Somebody,
Like, what is
yeah,
going
you gotta
on?
try to pull that up.
Yeah, that was
Did Carson
crazy.
Daly put his
Like,
on?
yo, what the fuck? I'm watching Terry. He got a bulletproof vest on in the middle of the afternoon. It's 5 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock in the summer. It's hot in New York.
Like, he don't got no shirt on underneath.
Yo, the one of the biggest reference points to how big somebody was within hip hop, to your point of Nelly, to your point of 50, to your point of Soulja Boy, is getting unconventional fashion trends into the mainstream with no questions asked. People threw on a Band-Aid on their face without question.
No
People put on Soulja Boy glasses and white painted their name over top without being able to see a
No
thing.
question.
No question. Bulletproof vest and a do-rag.
No
No
question.
question. I had a 50-cent chain when I was 8 years old.
That's
I looked
Did it spin?
whiter than I do now.
You look crazy. is what
I
you-
looked. My mom said. My mom sent it to me in the mail the other day. It didn't spin.
I'll
She
joke.
said-
Can we put that photo? Oh, you need that photo up in the
You
video.
have a
Okay.
No, not right now. Later on.
Okay, yeah,
When we get the video out.
we'll B-roll it a 50
I
cent.
didn't need that.
Yeah, but to that point, anyone who can, and has it happened recently? Like who's changed fashion culture within
Soulja
hip hop
Boy.
recent? No, recent.
Oh, recent?
Yeah, like in the last like
Lil
10.
Wayne. Oh, last
More
10?
recent. Yeah.
Travis Scott. Travis Scott took A$AP Rocky's place, in my opinion. That's
Well, they have that whole back and forth about like
That's my opinion.
him taking A$AP
But
swag a little
if you
bit.
want to go impact fashion wise, you have to go Kanye. But I'm gonna say Travis Scott.
He does definitely have people dressed in a certain way, especially with his shoes.
Travis Scott is. I don't know what the fuck he be wearing, but they all wear it. All of them. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't know what the fuck be going on.
If we see you in the new Travis Scott's next week.
The shoes? Oh, I'm not tripping off the shoes. I'm
No,
talking about-
I'm talking about the whole fit. If you dress like
Oh,
Travis
I would
next
never.
week.
Travis Scott be dressed like Jeff Hardy, bro. Like
I was off the top rope.
but
Top
I'm
of the
just
cage.
but I'm just saying, like, I'm not a fashion guy at all. Like, black women dress me every week, so I don't real shit. Black women talk shit about the way I dress, so they be like, "Well, you pick it out." They pick it out, I put it on. So I'm not a fashion guy on no level.
No, but then they're doing a great job. You can't dismiss it. Then you have black women helping you get right.
But when he asked the question, I'm gonna go Ye and then Travis Scott. I don't know
That makes
anybody
sense.
else.
I
that
wore the
impact-
shutter shades.
That makes sense.
You did.
I wore the
I
shutter
had
shades.
some of those too.
They were great.
That was like late register. No, that was graduation.
Oh, this one I was gonna ask you guys. Speaking of graduation, because we were talking about the Kendrick show.
We're talking about Kanye now for the slow people.
Yeah, we're moving over to Kanye for a second. That was my greatest hip hop concert I've ever seen. I want to get your guys, but the Glow in the Dark tour, because we had Rihanna, Pharrell with NERD, Lupe Fiasco,
Lupe was good on that tour.
all opening.
I'm not the biggest fan, but he was great on that tour.
All opening for Kanye
Yeah.
at the peak of his mainstream success. That was one of the craziest
And
shows.
he brought Jay out at the last shows. The Blueprint
Nas
Free
came
Tees.
out a couple
Yeah.
times. Like, so
I got 3.
okay, yeah. What are your greatest?
Number 1, hands down, Blink-182, best show. Number 2, hip hop.
Yeah,
right?
it's hip-hop, yeah.
It's a hip hop show. Okay.
Okay, shout out to Blink-182 though.
2, I went and saw. And this, I don't know where this is gonna land, but actually, me and my boys, we went and saw the Bad Boys reunion concert at the Barclays,
Mhm.
and Puff brought Hove out, and he did PSA at the Barclays Center,
The place that he built. He built the
And-
Barclays.
and I have never felt anything like that.
That's crazy.
That
is
was
wild. PSA at Barclays is
that
special.
was earth shocking. Like
Yeah.
it was earth shaking.
PSA
right?
is crazy.
Then the third moment is YG sold out the Forum. And that was one of the moments for me because that's like we all
You've
like
seen him, yeah.
And that was one of the moments for me. I mean, Dot, I done seen Dot perform numerous times. It's always crazy. But seeing YG sell out the Forum, it's his first time, right? His first headlining show, first time sold out the Forum. To me, that was one of the moments like, damn, like this just is amazing. Like it was just like, it just felt good. And then our honorable fourth will be Roddy at the Palladium when the Antisocial came out. He sold out the Palladium. And the same thing, Nip did the victory lap at the Palladium as well.
They're big LA shows.
And it was huge. Those were big LA venues. Those moments to me were like, oh my God. But nothing to me, when Hove did PSA at the Barclays Center, it kind of, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of took the air out of Lil Kim's set.
Right?
Puff
Coming
set.
up all those
it was
classic
midway
moments,
through the
right?
night.
It was,
Think about that. How other classic East Coast records going on that whole
bro,
thing.
Kiss and everybody, it was like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, yeah, like Hove did PSA.
Like, you couldn't
Shout
leave.
Just Blaze.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Shout Just Blaze.
It was, them people lost their minds in there. And it was just the energy in
Yeah.
that. You know, you can't replicate that type of shit.
Do you have one?
Which one? Oh,
Best
it's all-
hip-hop
it's
concert
all
you've ever
Hove.
seen?
It's all Hove. To add to what he said, I mean, I was there the whole when the Barclays Center opening, him doing like what six. You know that story? Okay, so he was gonna do.
What, we got exclusive?
Yeah, of course. No, it's not. I've talked about it before. He was gonna do. Did he do 8 shows in a row, like to open up the building?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I hit John Manilli, his guy at the time. I'm like, I got to go to all 8 shows because that's the nerd and herb that I am. I'm like, I need to be in the building every motherfucking night. So I go to like 4 shows in a row, 5 shows in a row. And I think the 6th show, a surprise appearance of a reunited Chris Brown and Rihanna, who hadn't been seen together.
Are you serious?
Since their drama. Yeah, since their
Wow.
situation.
They did a song?
No, they came in as a couple. They got back together after their.
Oh, you
after,
talking about? See, you set it up like they performed.
No,
you have to make that distinction. I'm like, I didn't hear
yeah.
about that. I'm like, what the fuck is
After their horrible domestic situation and their breakup, they resurfaced as a couple.
Okay,
and the big reveal was going to the Jay-Z show on night 6 or whatever it was, the thing. So I'm with my guy from, I'm going to say his name, but he worked at Fader magazine. And I'm just like, what, you know, the journalist in me is like, I got to document this shit. Nobody see this. So I don't know if I took the photo or he took the photo. That shit was on TMZ like the next morning, blah, blah. So then Manilli calls me. He's like, yo, man, you can't go to the rest of the shows.
You got banned?
I got banned, blah, blah. But they brought me back for the last one. I missed like show 6 and 7. They brought me back for show 8. And Hove teased me. He's like, yo, you got banned. You got banned, man.
He didn't send you a rat emoji?
He sent me a rat emoji. But no, but my other 2 is I was determined to see Niggas in Paris. I was determined to see that. So as soon as that tour was announced, the Watch-the-Throne was going to go international, I hit Jay and I was like, I'm going to Paris. Like, I got to blah, blah. Like, I'm not.
That was a light
Does this sound like a flex?
That was a light
He
flex.
didn't-
flex.
no, all was provided with me was tickets to the actual show. I bought my own
Own
flight,
accommodations.
bought my own hotel, brought my wife. You know, we turned it into our little European vacation. So just being in that's
This
why I
isn't
can't
a
talk
life
about my
like-
life.
I'm
Somebody
not-
at therapy.
This is aspirational.
Why does my life sound fake? Like, if I talk about
I
my
didn't say
life,
it sound fake,
there's
King.
no empathy. There's no empathy for my life. It's actually my life. I'm sorry.
we love your life,
I'm
King.
sorry. It's actually what my life
This is why they didn't want to buy the Patreon.
Talk your
Exactly. You're not giving this guy $20 a month. Yo, give me $20 a month so I give you hip hop content. No.
Hey, live your truth, King.
Okay,
I gotta
but you're
live
in
my
Paris.
No, it was an amazing show. And CSI, Spike Lee was there. Dream was there. No, but they did the whole like Paris multiple times.
Which
That
is
was good.
great.
That was
That's
the beginning
so
of the-
iconic.
And that club was so like wherever we were in France, like whatever that club was like an ultimate like dusty hot box. We're sweating profusely. Like it's like a aesthetically a shit show, but it's such an amazing cultural moment of energy and blah blah.
Well, we're not gonna get invited to that venue.
We're just having a great time. And then going last one, I'll go with the Fade to Black, the Garden shows.
Yeah.
But you know what the biggest popping is? You can't even say it anymore because we live in a non-politically correct world anymore. But the most excitement that night, Jay-Z doing the Fade to Black show, was the secret that R. Kelly was going to come out because they did their moment. You know, obviously R. Kelly is canceled now. No one's defending him, but they did that Best of Both Worlds record, and then the controversy happened. So we had never seen Jay-Z, R. Kelly kind of celebrate the record that they did. And that was the big buzz. I remember seeing like one of his guys, like George Daniels, or like one of the OGs, And I told my people, I was like, yo, R. Kelly's in the building. And when he came out with R. Kelly and they had like the white winter jackets and stuff, that was the loudest pop of anything. But everything, Beyonce came out, Ghostface Killer. Like, so yeah, the Fade to Black show in real time is amazing. Seeing Paris in Paris, those probably are the moments.
I got one more actually when I saw Back to Back live at OVO Fest.
That's one of mine too. I was with my wife. You was at that show?
Yeah, so I flew out to Toronto. Yeah, and I remember like we didn't know Kanye was in the building too. So I was just a fan at that point. I remember I saw somebody in the bathroom wearing a Complex t-shirt. I was like, oh, it's somebody from Complex. Like that's what that was my like. Oh, I remember I was like, yo, man, that's so cool that you work for Complex. He's like, yeah. And he walked out. I was like, fuck that guy. Fuck Complex. But so then I was like, I was like, when I get to that place, I'm going to be nice to people if they interrupt me while I'm peeing. But anyways, when Drake...
Wait, you approached him with his penis out?
No, it was after he zipped up. It was like
when
we
were
were
still
washing.
Inappropriate for you to talk to a man while he got his Johnson just fresh out of his hand. Like,
well, he was washing. He was
at the washing?
Yeah, at the sink. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Yeah, I peeped. Not that part,
I'm just saying, in between zip up and washing.
Like pause. That's
no. But I'm just saying. Listen, though.
Pause.
In between zip up and washing is still a no fly zone. You gotta wait till I get to when the water's
going. Then that's when we can
talk.
Have a convo.
Yeah. The hands have to be dried. Get to the drying part of the hands.
I mean,
we good after the water run. We good.
Yeah,
but
I'm not gonna go for dap up
because you never know. Like I might have to double back depending on how much. You know what I mean?
What do you mean double back?
Never mind.
What do we? You just realize
how many beverages he had.
You're like
complete certain things.
I do the double check while I'm there. That's
sometimes you do the shake. You do shake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pause. Is that a pause?
This is a little pause. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Transition.
Bigger picture.
Hey, people are like, yeah, that's facts.
Who can't relate? As men, the audience, how they not gonna relate?
Somebody knows.
How they not gonna relate?
Somebody knows. The worst thing is going back to your seat and realizing there was more, and then you're like, this is gonna ruin the whole show.
You know what I'm saying? Some people's pictures is bigger than others. You know what I'm saying?
No, you know the worst though? If you got like the light color, if you got the depending on what kind of jeans you have, or whatever your khakis or whatever it is,
and you dribbled a little,
yeah, that'll show in your joint. You be looking crazy out here, man.
Walking out with a little dribble. That's if you don't have the long t-shirt.
Yeah, the long
t-shirt.
Hey, look at Alex's face, bro.
Alex is putting the pictures up on screen.
Alex, one of our producers, she's just like, oh my God,
splash.
This is not why I moved here.
Shout out to that Mexican OT. But when we did an interview with him, she was behind the camera, and we had to. I kept looking over at her. Are you okay? Is this workplace harassment?
No, but going back to back, because I was also at that show, Jeremy. If I remember, didn't he start the show with it? He just started with it.
I think that was
like,
when
there was no build up.
Yes,
he came out with the meat. So I was in this shit about Drake. Like it's like the elephants in the room is like, oh shit, Drake's in this rap battle. He's gonna do this song. It's gonna be a great moment. But it was like, fuck that. We doing this shit first. He came out with the meme.
Charged Up was on the screen. That's
he charged up right into back to back.
Yeah.
And then he did it again, and I think he then ended the show and did it again at the end of the show.
Yeah.
So you got your moment of like,
when is
what
OVO
you came
Fest?
for? Was that
October?
It's actually in July usually.
That's interesting. So,
or end of June.
I mean, it makes sense to be in October, but
yeah.
So, if he does OVO Fest this year, it's canceled, right?
I haven't seen anything about it yet.
Okay, so when it gets announced.
Future's actually there the same weekend that they usually do it, which is interesting. Future,
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So,
but those tickets ain't moving like Russ's tickets.
Yeah, we're gonna get. Yeah,
I want to get to Russ. Does he do those records that he took down?
I don't think Drake performs any of the diss songs at OVO Fest.
Well, don't tell us because I don't want you ratting.
Let's go to Russ.
Yeah. Okay. So Russ, speaking of tickets, speaking of, you're like we got through that already once, but there's very few people who are selling out arenas in hip hop. It's a feat in itself to do an arena tour. Once you reach that status, you're kind of an A-list star. Russ is interesting because he still doesn't get the respect or the love in the mainstream conversations when it comes to the biggest artists in the game. But he's constantly posting actual video footage of real life people, sold out shows, singing songs that he just dropped 2 weeks ago. You know, he just dropped this song, I think 2 weeks ago. They were singing word for word, lights on the cameras. And it was interesting because there's this whole conversation about what it means to sell out an arena and what that means for not only him, but for other artists. And you had an interesting point this morning.
The thing is, first of all, shout out to Russ. Russ is by far one of my favorite artists on his independent tip. Like, I don't necessarily agree with everything he says as far as, because every artist ain't you, Russ. Everybody's not going to do what it's going to take.
Everybody can't win on Patreon.
Everybody's not going to do what it's going to take to win independently. So I don't agree with that blanketed narrative that, oh, you can just do it yourself. No, some of y'all need infrastructure and guidance.
Some of y'all need a deal.
And production, and a lot of y'all need Jermaine Dupri. But no shade. But Russ, to me, is one of those artists where, in my humble opinion, everybody should be looking at in a different way. Mainstream artists, some of the biggest artists in the game, because the way he does his shit, like he does content the right way, and he sells real hard ticket sales. Now,
hard tickets, yeah.
For the people that don't understand the music business, and I want to talk about the things that he said in his tweet. But the thing that people don't understand about the quote unquote music business is you aren't well versed in how things work. And I think Russ kind of lost his shit a little bit. You know what I mean? When he was responding to somebody
who had no idea.
And
this is the tweet. So some person, he was talking about selling out arenas. There's two tweets. The first one was, don't be mad at me selling out arenas because your fave can't. Y'all start trying to make excuses and do all sorts of mental gymnastics in an attempt to figure out the disconnect. They're faking their streams, which is why the ticket sales don't match the streams. Simple, but stay out of my mentions with stupidity. And then somebody had the nerve to say, stop lying, bro. We was there. It looks packed in this video because of the angle you recorded. And then he shows this picture from the back where you couldn't really see all of the people, and there were some gaps. And then Russ responded saying, I'll break this down for you since you're an idiot. You can only sell a certain amount of tickets on the floor because of fire hazard. Some artists put seats on the floor to make it look more full. I don't, because I like the floor to be turned so everyone crams to the front, hence the space at the back. Phoenix and LA, both sold out. How you hating and a fan? What a fucking loser.
Yeah. So what's dope, what's crazy is Russ always, like, I remember the first time Russ sold out the Staples Center. This is back when it was Staples. And I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Amazing.
No openers.
Amazing.
No openers, no anything, right?
Amazing accomplishment.
To Russ's point, for those of you who don't understand how business works, there's fire marshals who literally show up to the venue and make sure you're operating within code. They will literally shut your show down. And they have the legal ramifications to do so. So what Russ is talking about, and then we'll put it up on the screen, but he's talking about, a lot of times you go to shows and you'll see seats, and people do that for different reasons. But to Russ's point, he likes the environment just to be free flowing and loose or whatnot.
Yeah, I grab a drink and I walk back to the main floor.
If you ever go to a concert and you see the stage, you see the floor looking like this, it could still be sold out and there would still be room. That room is delegated and allocated for fire hazard. So that way you don't get trampled and die if something crazy happens. So that's what Russ was trying to explain.
There are limitations.
It's limitations to it. You can still be sold out and still have space. Like, people think you have to occupy all the physical space. That's not how it works. The second thing is, to Russ's point about some of your favorite artists faking streams and ticket sales, hard ticket and soft ticket's different. The hard ticket sale is before the door opens. Okay, that's what that means. Walk-ups, that's, Russ performing tonight, let's go. That's a walk-up.
Impulse buy.
Impulse buy, the Snickers at the checkout stand. That's an impulse buy. But hard ticket sales is a direct indicator of how successful someone is.
Yeah, and Russell was the artist who went on a career path where he took the approach, and he's not the only one to test himself in the marketplace very early on and build a hard ticket fan base. You go from selling 400 seats to 1,000 to 1,500, but you're visibly out there doing the work it takes to raise your value in what somebody says is a hard ticket type of artist. In hip hop today, there's a lot of bigger artists, and not to even I'll say his name because I do respect him. He's one of the greats, Future. Didn't necessarily take that approach and how he's approached things. He had the benefit of going on tour with Drake multiple times and doing different things, but he didn't build a hard ticket fan base throughout his journey. He's been wildly successful. Streaming has helped that too. So I think what gets caught up in the hype too is, like, I feel like there's future Metro fans who are like saying, hey, these ticket sales don't look that great. How is Russ selling tickets? He must be lying. This might not be legit. And to me, he's kind of getting caught up in that. And it's like, no, but Russ took a different approach. And Future may be the bigger artist, but in that avenue, Russ has put more work in, built relationships, built audiences, and empowered himself in maybe a way that Future hasn't.
And he always says this, you could scroll down. It's been well documented. He has videos of performing in front of 50 people in Europe. And he always talks about taking the club bag versus actually building a tour fan base, where there's a lot of artists, once they get popping, they'll get a $20K bag to do one song at a club, but those people were already there. Those were probably all soft tickets. They're all going to the club on a Friday, and Future happens to pop up, or Rich Homie Quan happens to pop up and do their song that's hot at the moment. But Russ, what he did was he's like, I'll do a venue that's 50 people in each city. Build that.
And connect with that fan and build that relationship. But yeah, if you're Future, like you're a hot Atlanta rapper, you're gonna go in that club run and you're gonna get your brown paper bags and you're gonna have a lovely weekend.
And there's nothing wrong with that too. It's a different level of and to your point of fans messing with the music business side of things, what I don't like is first week numbers being talked about at all. I think it's an irrelevant conversation right now at all. I don't think that, granted, there's nothing wrong with, championing your guy, or we have a #1 album, but that to me is a label conversation. Those are labels paying to make sure their artist is close to #1. We saw it with the Roddy thing, right? Look how hard the label worked to try to get Justin Bieber to #1 so they could say they were stretching so far to lengths I've never seen to try to beat Roddy Ricch, this kid who really just had a good song. So I think, why are we so concerned as fans when we don't know the gymnastics these people are going through to get an extra 100K streams, to pay the bots to get their artist to #1, versus, do you like the music? Was it good? Was it a good song? That's your guy. Cool. Champion the song.
Good shit always prevails. And to me, I don't necessarily like fans, quote unquote. I don't like using that word, but fans participating in the music business side of things, because again, going back to my conversation before, it takes away from the esteem that the people who do have to do the business have. Because if some random person can get a tweet that goes viral and says, Russ only sold 3 copies the first week, right? And that's the story. It's all over Hip Hop DX. It's all over Billboard. It's everywhere, right? That becomes the narrative of that, and that's some random person in Nebraska.
That's not informed.
That has no qualifications to speak on that.
Yeah,
That's the problem that runs rampant through culture in general, whether it comes from a hip hop lens, a political lens. We saw it with the whole Trump thing, and then the whole Little Pump. He called him Little Pimp. He literally called him Little Pimp.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? On national television. Like
he might have.
We got Chef G here. Chef G's here.
It's just certain things, bro, to where it's like, bro, if that's not you, and that's okay. Yeah. And when you're a fan, it's okay to just be a fan. Like, I'm a fan of certain things. I don't necessarily know the business. Don't want to know the business, because I respect the people who do that business. And I think it all comes back to respect. If you respect someone's craft, then respect their craft enough not to have to participate in it to the level that it starts to diminish people who do that for a living.
And it's harder to fake a hard ticket sale than a stream. I mean, let's talk about it. Like,
facts.
It's hard. I mean, you're gonna see it.
And you know what else too? I like that Russ is consistently educating people.
Yeah, he is.
Year round.
Even when he's irritated.
Even when he's irritated. Even when he's irritated, he's consistently educating people. Hey, you like this sample? Oh, I just went and made the beat on Splice.
Yeah, he does. He shows it.
He shows you how he makes his beats. He shows you how he came up with the melody. He recorded it. Oh, I just recorded a voice note. I recorded myself. Like, again, not everybody's Russ. Not everybody's Dot. Don't think you can do everything yourself. But I like that he documents it and he's honest about it. Hey, you know what? I tried this. It didn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Here's how, because what I don't like on the internet is the highlight reel of everybody like, man, this show is sold out. This show is sold out. But then what about the shows that wasn't sold out? Like, let's give me an overarching perspective in a real way, so that way I'm prepared when I get out here as I'm trying to do the same thing you doing.
Or it's a turn up and it's a festival and all those people that can't pay to see you. You're just part of 40 other acts. It's just like,
they here to see Future.
Yeah, shout out to Russ. Honestly, I think he deserves more respect on his name as to what he's doing.
And he was mad about the arena thing, just like Meg Thee Stallion. The arena, I think it was in Dallas, where he had to push his show back. He was really upset about that.
NBA Finals, right?
And I think here's an even bigger conversation. Not to single out Dallas at all. Mark Cuban, not to single out nobody. But there's something to be said about these concerts that get booked a year out, because the owners don't think that their team is going to be in.
Yo, do you have no faith in the squad?
Right? Yeah.
You had no faith that you guys were going to be there?
You booked a Russ concert during the
potential
NBA
playoff
semifinals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what does that say to your basketball team?
The Knicks, don't believe. They had Andrew Schultz during, it was like round 2.
round 2 of the
he had
playoffs.
MSG.
Yeah, he had to pray for them to win the game
Yeah.
and keep my date open, right? Yeah.
Andrew
no
Schultz
faith.
who had the potential move his show from Madison Square Garden, bro, because whoever's
That's
booking
funny.
the arena. So it's something to be said about these.
Don't double dip your chip, you guys. I hear
Double
what-
dip your
Believe in your squad. Believe in your squad.
I'm now bills have to be paid. So I'm not saying that. Like if you are, let's say if you own the Toronto Raptors, book the arena.
No, don't do the Toronto Raptors. That was such a. Oh, we're just gonna shade the Raps like Kawhi didn't take them to the ship a few years ago.
Yeah.
I mean that's cool.
Anything can happen.
Where's Kawhi at?
I mean, he's home.
Where's he at?
He's chilling
Where is he at though?
right here,
Right where?
West Coast.
Exactly.
Listen, speaking of putting respect on the fans, I want to take accountability for our conversation last time where we thought, and it was kind of glanced over, that fans didn't care necessarily. I think you said
They don't.
fans don't care about the bars. They don't care about if people write their own shit. They don't care. They said like that was kind of the convo sentiment. All of the top comments, we had somebody say the fans, in quotes, the fans don't care. Speak for yourself. 100 likes. 109 likes. The fans care, bro. You guys are nuts. To be the best rapper, you have to write your own bars. 150 likes. Can't be the best rapper with reference tracks. Go be a good pop star. I was born in 93. We care about rappers' pens. DJ Hed was enjoying that Vory reference track too much. And Drake, he was. Somebody said rappers are more like poets. If a poet doesn't write his or her poem, then that invalidates them to a certain degree, even if they perform it well. So basically, the majority of the sentiment was
fuck the bigger picture.
it was our audience cares. So we got to speak to them as if you can only be the best rapper if you write all of your shit.
Hey, listen, commenters. Gen Pop don't give a fuck. You care. If you're watching the bigger picture, you care. Gen Pop don't care. It's the truth. Sorry.
That's true. Our audience, shout out to the bigger picture audience, though. We have people who care.
People who care. Y'all care. The people, okay, do this. Random people just living their life. They go to work every day. They don't watch the bigger picture. They have no idea who Elliott Wilson is. I know that's far-fetched, but they have no idea who Elliott Wilson is, right? Yeah. They don't give a fuck who writes the records. They just want to hear the bops. That's all they care about.
Well, we do have one more reference track topic that I've seen most people avoid. I haven't seen people really dive into this, but I think it's important to talk about this if we were going to go all in on the reference track convo last week. There is a reference track that resurfaced or surfaced maybe for the first time of Drake singing / rapping Lil Wayne's bars on I'm Single. Now, Drake was a credited artist on that song. Mm-hmm. It says Wayne and Drake are the two artists and A Graham on the credits, and on Spotify, Drake's name is on there, but there's no Drake vocals. You don't hear any Drake vocals on the song. There could have been a conversation beforehand. Maybe there's a feature that was missing. But what we heard was a reference track of Drake singing part of the verse and the hook, or if you want to just consider that the whole hook, there were some bars in there and some singing. And then we go and hear the song, and it's the same thing. Now, to me, that wasn't too much difference than the Mob Tie reference track, where it was the melody, it was the cadence, it was some of the lyrics. How do we feel about this, and how does this affect any sort of view of Wayne's process? We know Wayne doesn't write, physically, but does this affect anything? Is it just a hook? Are we kind of giving this is just another, songwriting?
So I'm trying to see right now so Drake is credited.
Drake is credited as a writer. But we never knew.
Even now when people getting credits, I think people still view it as ghostwriting. Even if the credit's there, if it's not the person who said it and how verbatim it is, like how close to the actual final result it is, I think people kind of still look at it as a brush of ghostwriting, no matter what, credited or not. I would look at it like it just felt more like a counter to the Vory thing. All of a sudden, like my question would be, where are these tracks coming from, and why are they coming out now? And how much of it is just a backlash to the whole Drake Kendrick battle?
Well, I actually have a theory. I think this was more likely to have come from Drake's camp than anything else. I think the other ones were leaks. But if I were Drake's camp and I'm looking at the conversation about me not writing my shit,
I'm countering the Vory.
I'm countering it and saying this is one that I know, and maybe not Drake himself, but maybe people around him who are like, well, we have a track where you wrote for somebody else who's considered one of the greatest of all time, and there's people discrediting your pen after this Mob Ties reference. give this to people and see what they say. And it seems like people haven't cared. That's
I mean, the thing is, he don't care. I don't think he cares enough to refute any of this. He doesn't have to at this point. He knows what it is.
But what do you think about this?
I don't necessarily think anything about this because when it comes to like, I didn't remember Jeezy getting credit on "Can't Tell Me Nothing" from Kanye.
I asked him about that when I interviewed him.
What'd he say?
So he said basically it was back and forth. Where this is my first ever viral clip with Hip Hop DX. I said, "How come your ad libs are still on Can't Tell Me Nothing?" And the story he said was, Ye and him were supposed to have a record for their album, and the clearance didn't come out in time, or the album was kind of being rushed, and the record got left off. Ye still had that record. He still had Jeezy's verse on there. He still had his verse at the time, and he still had the ad libs and the hook. Ye took Jeezy's verse off and said, "Yo, can I still keep your ad libs on here? I'm making it into a different song." Jeezy said, "That's cool." Didn't think much of it. Song comes out. It's "Can't Tell Me Nothing." Massive hit. Then Jeezy sees that. He said he performed after him at a festival, and he's like, "The whole crowd is singing. I just gave away a hit for free." So then he calls Kanye after his mom had passed, and he said, "Listen, I know you're not doing music right now, but I need a favor from you." And that's how he got
808s and all that?
No, not that one. The Put On For My City.
Put On For My
He
City.
said, I need a record, sent it to Ye. Ye sent Put
That
On.
was a big single
But
for
to
him.
me, that's just ad libs.
Was there a verse you got back that like blew your mind that you didn't expect them to come with something like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Kanye's Put On verse. Get My Money Right was a song with me and T.I. It was called I Got Money. I sent it to Ye. Ye put a verse on it, but Ye wanted to know who produced the record, so I told him DJ Toot produced the record. Somehow he got in contact with DJ Toot and changed his whole sonics on his verse. So that was Ye's doing. So when he sent it back, I'm just like, yo, man, this is a whole different song. I got to turn my album in 2 days. I can't, you know what I'm saying? So he was just like, I'm telling you, it's crazy. I was just like, yo, I just can't use it. So I never used it. Times go by, 6 months later, I'm in LA, he calls me, come to the studio, he wanted to play me something. He played me Wait Till I Get My Money Right, which is the same song and same verse that he sent me. He just added another verse to it. And then he asked me, he's like, yo, can I keep your ad libs? And I was like, you know what, you can, it's cool.
You can't tell me nothing. And you can't tell me nothing, right?
Get My Money Right came out in the hit form. And I was just like, damn, I just gave you a hit record. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I was like, yo, he owed me one. And this was not too long after his mother passed. He wasn't doing verses. And I called him. I was like, yo, I got this record. And he's like, yo, I really ain't been in the booth. I was just like, I get it. But you know, we need you.
I lost the only girl in the world that know me best.
He's like, okay, send it. And I sent it to him. He's like, what does Put On mean? And I was just like, okay, so in Atlanta, like, we put on for the city. Like, we pop. We talk, you know, you fly, you cool. Like, okay, I got it. He said, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. He called me back and rapped me the verse on the phone. I was just like, yo, just send it to me. Because he was trying to sing it and rap it. I was just like, yo, I can't. And I was just like, yo, just send me the record. So he sent me and L.A. Reid the record at the same time. So before I can listen to it and call him back, L.A. Reid was calling me like, yo, when are we putting this out? This is the single. I was like, yeah, it is the single. I played it again. I was just like, yo, he spazzed on this. I had never heard, you know, that was like classic. Really went in, that was like one of the most epic verses I ever got back from somebody else when I sent it out. And, you know, that's how Put On came about.
I don't think that's
You're not saying that any of Ye's lines came from Jeezy.
No, yeah,
on
none of that
song.
came from.
No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying people do records all the time without accreditation.
But he's credited here. Drake is credited.
No, I know that. But my point is, people do records. This is standard. Again, this is standard practice in the music business. Like whether you're credited or not is my point. Like to do songs for people is a normal thing, especially when you're in close proximity like this. Like I know hella people I won't say, but they've written for people who are just, hey, we in the studio. Here's a record. I'll go reference it for you, and you can take it with you, or whatever the case may be, and just say the words over again. This is not like an oh my God thing. Now the only reason what makes it oh my God is because it's Lil Wayne, right?
Yeah, but I guess that's the conversation where I don't necessarily look at Wayne differently, like after hearing this, but to me, I'm like questioning my own fandom. Am I a hypocrite if I'm gonna critique And granted, I didn't have the same emotional connection to Wayne's music or that song in particular. But if I'm going to question Drake's ability to be in the greatest conversation and his pen simply because he had other people write songs for him that weren't the AM PM songs, do I have to question Wayne's ability to be the greatest if he had somebody write a song for him that, again, isn't necessarily an A Milli or a 6'7", but is a song that has bars that he's rapping that somebody else wrote?
Maybe I'm just desensitized to this shit. I'm too far in the business to give a fuck. I just don't care. Like, I don't care who wrote. If it's a hit, if it's a smash, give me the record. I'd rather take a smash than a mid record you wrote yourself.
Yeah, I think that the idea is if you're somebody that's saying, well, let's take it outside of Drake. You're rapper A. It's like, you know, we find out that this record somebody else wrote for you. Does that mean that we don't think you can write records? Like, no, you can write records too.
Yeah.
I think it just shows the ugly side about how collaborative music is. When I look at the Drake thing, it's like, it's the same also hybrid. I think Hecht could attest to of like, I'm a younger artist. I joined this movement. I'm in service to the mentor, the person who put me on. So
which always
I'm sure Drake sent many a song idea or structure to Lil Wayne through the years, 20, 30 songs. Sometimes it could also be an idea you have for yourself, and then all of a sudden it's not landing enough. No, but you're not liking it enough. Maybe when Drake wrote I'm Single, he originally thought it was going to be his record and felt good, like, this is the record I want to put out. But then he fell out of love with the song, but maybe this will work for Wayne. So I'm sure Drake sent Lil Wayne multiple things, and part of the whole joining that clique and joining that, as we see many times, is like, you got to serve the mentor. You got to serve the person who put you on, and like to keep him delivering at a high level. So that doesn't surprise me
at all.
I wouldn't say that I'm shocked. I guess I think the conversation is interesting because of where we place Wayne and because of how much critique Drake has gotten for his lack of pen. And I think it actually made me put a little bit more respect on Drake's pen in terms of him writing for other people. He has written for Kanye. He has written for people in his camp. Baca, who has the weird case, he wrote a song for him. He's written songs for many other people. Jamie Foxx, Rita Ora. So it's like, I guess it's just there's some dissonance. I'd be interested to hear what the commenters think.
Do you believe that Ye has written for Jay?
No.
You don't believe Ye has ever written anything for Jay-Z?
I think Ye has probably written hooks.
The bridges and hooks, and
I think a lot of hooks probably came from Ye.
No verse.
I personally don't believe that Kanye West has written for Jay-Z. Do you?
I don't know, and I'm okay with not knowing.
Let's say you find okay. Hypothetically,
I'm just being.
No. Hypothetically though, let's say you find out that Kanye wrote a verse for Jay, maybe let's say like 6 bars. It wasn't a PSA, it wasn't one of his all-time great rap songs, but he wrote 6 bars and a hook for Jay that Jay took word for word, and there's a reference track that leaks. How do you does that change your view of Jay at all?
No, it doesn't. It's still Jay-Z, bro. Like, and once someone has established themselves or cemented in whatever the thing is, it doesn't take away from their contributions, in my opinion, because they collab. If they're getting stronger, Drake has progressively gotten better as he's gotten to the game. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Like, he's progressively gotten better at what he does. If that's a collaborative thing, I'll take it. I want better product. I don't necessarily care where the source is, and that's just me being honest about how I'm consuming music. Now, when it comes to the sport, that's a different conversation.
I'm just talking about the GOAT combo right now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the sport of it is different. You can't be braggadocious about how dope you are and you know you didn't write those lyrics. That's a different conversation to me than just making music as a collaborative thing. Like, I'm Single is not like I'm the best rapper ever. It's a record.
So it still depends on the record.
So it matters the song.
It's the context, man.
I'm Single is still vibes.
There's nuance to it, bro.
Yeah.
Like Cash Cobain or Mike did the beat for Drake, right? Let's say he wrote the whole record, like everybody shit. He wrote the whole was that Dark? What's the name of the album?
For All the Dogs.
For All the Dogs.
His record was called Calling for You.
Right. Let's say he wrote the whole album, right?
Yeah.
For All the Dogs is not a timestamp record, so I don't give a fuck.
So then why has Drake's name been taken out of the conversation if none of the records that leaked reference track wise were him calling himself the best?
That was my point on the last episode. I don't think it only counts when you have the nuance of participating in that specific way. Like, Doc can say it's not if Doc says motherfuck the big 3, it's just Big Me, and then proceeds to put out songs in a collaborative way, that diminishes it. Does that make sense?
So explain that further.
So what I'm saying is you can't talk shit like you're the best media personality.
Yeah.
And you're not doing any of your own media. Only when it counts. Now, we just do a regular episode of The Bigger Picture and we just talking shit about whatever is going on in hip hop.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as you saying I'm the GOAT. Why are you the GOAT now? Now you have to tell me why you the GOAT. Does that make sense?
Well, but I guess my thing
it's a per record basis. I don't look at it just your whole legacy is in question. That's I don't look at it like that.
So then, because the conversation kind of gets tricky there with, so in this Hove situation, let's just say hypothetically, because I mean there have been rumors of that too. I'm not gonna go down that.
I'm gonna go on a limb, and I don't know this for a fact. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that the most of the Throne album is Ye. Not saying that he wrote Hove's verses, but
you're saying direction and
conceptually and sonically and the production.
Well, he's more the producer.
Yeah,
Jay's not a producer.
I think that was Jay going into Ye's world.
Yes, exactly. Because Ye is the producer.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, Jay does not produce his own music.
That's how I
he's
look
still
at
the
it.
artist, the rapper.
Yeah. But I think I think we just got to be consistent across the board. And this isn't Wayne, this isn't Drake.
We'll never be consistent. That's my
hip hop.
We're gonna move goalposts wherever we want at all times.
We keep doing it.
Yes, that's probably the fucked up. That's what makes it the juicy topic, right? And it's all the more grimiest sounding reference thing that violates our thing of like the biggest time this person was talking shit like he's the best and it didn't come from his pen and actually he wrote that, we'll go crazy all over again. Like
I'll go out on a limb and say that the people that I think, for instance, I'll give you two. I think Cole and Dot have written every verse.
I would put Hove right there too. But I think
Hove too.
But I think Hove takes, hook ideas and to Jeremy's point,
and
may have heard an opening line and say, let me take that, like I like that start of that record with that opening line idea you had and do the rest of the 16 or 32.
Is Lil Wayne
whatever.
in the top 5?
I mean, he's in my personal top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Lil Wayne wrote the whole record? Like he wrote every verse he's ever rapped?
Well, I'm clearly seeing he hasn't.
But
no, hold on. Yeah. Before this, did you think that?
I did.
Okay, so he put out a rock album. You think he wrote that whole rock album himself?
No, but that's not in my conversation of being the best rapper.
Okay.
See, I guess
Do you think he wrote songs like I'm Single, right? Or How to Love? You think he wrote How to Love himself?
I would consider that to be like Drake's Hold On, We're Going Home. I never thought, I wouldn't have cared if he didn't write it. Because it was a singing song. I'm talking about every rap verse from Lil Wayne I thought he wrote.
So that's the difference. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You're literally doing the same thing I'm doing. You're just doing it based on a type of song. Okay. I'm doing it song by song.
Okay.
You're saying because he's singing, okay, he might have collaboration. Yeah. I'm saying I don't give a fuck if it's melody or not.
As long as you're not. But me saying I'm the greatest, right? If I'm like, I'm the best at what I do, my craft is top tier, best rapper alive, right? In order to build the catalog to call myself that, all of these songs add up. All these rap songs, all these verses. He
didn't do Lollipop himself.
But that's, again, but I'm just talking about in the case of Drake too, right? Where you said you don't care as long as he's not talking about being the greatest on those specific songs. All of the songs where he's rapping still lead up to my ability to say I'm the greatest. It's not just every song that I said I'm the greatest that count toward me being the greatest.
I agree with you. So at that point, you got to take Lil Wayne out your top 5, champ.
Well, I guess that's where I'm like my cognitive dissonance is.
So that's where you fucked up.
That's where I'm not sure how I feel about this. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Okay, but so you fucked up right now.
I'm a little hurt. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I really am.
So he's hurt. And so we established what the
Elliott
fuck
was hurt earlier.
I'm like, what is this about?
This is a therapy session.
I'm like, what is going on right now?
Hey,
yeah,
Drake hurt me.
Yeah, Wayne.
Little Wayne is hurt Jeremy.
Well, I ain't hurt.
Can we have a time here, man? Why is CMB, man? Why is CMB?
Because I ain't hurt. This is what it is. Lollipop, I'm Single, How to Love.
I was going to say that.
It's all the same shit to me.
I thought people, I mean, I love Wayne. I can't deny Wayne's greatness, but
a GOAT.
He literally says, I don't know my lyrics or whatever.
Yeah, he said he forgets.
And like he's such a machine, right? So to me, Wayne's greatness to me isn't defined by his pen game isn't. Wayne's pen game? To me, Wayne's greatness is his endurance, his performance, his consistency, his fire. Like that. It's
he's
not
still
about
a dope lyricist.
Yeah, he's still a dope lyricist and it's clever wordplay. But I never viewed everything had to be like he's really cooking up and every single idea or sketch and bar, even if he doesn't write it down, came from him and that he's judged that way. I never thought he would be judged that way. I thought he was judged by the output and the consistency in what he did.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I judged him by that though. Maybe
Yeah. No,
again,
it's
maybe I'm a
interesting.
fan. Like
Yeah.
I was.
You
like,
have more of a Lil Wayne fan than me, I guess, in that sense.
No, because
The way
it's the
he-
same thing could be applied to Hove. It's the same thing. You a huge Hove advocate.
Of course.
I'm a huge Hove fan. I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan. Eminem, the same thing. I personally believe, and if it's refuted, then I'm refuted. That Dot, J. Cole, maybe even Hove, and maybe even I can't say him, but I would say that those people pretty much wrote every verse that they've ever rapped.
Yeah.
I would bet.
Besides
money
the
on that.
breed of other guys who aren't super commercial, the Black Thoughts, the Royce 5'9",
Correct.
Yeah.
We're talking about that's a whole other
I'm talking
hybrid,
about
yeah.
these
Slaughterhouse.
On a mainstream level.
This
yeah.
level.
Yeah.
But even the people who we consider to be elite MCs, I don't believe they wrote all of their shit. Like I'll give you an example, and it may come off as disrespectful, but like let's say Busta Rhymes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Busta has written everything
Yeah.
that he's ever said, because there's certain, he did a Janet Jackson record. He got the Janet Jackson record, which is a classic. He got the song with T-Pain, which is I forgot what the name of the song is called, but it's this big over the top like sounding record. And then he has all these different kinds of records. Because that's not what I perceive as comes naturally to him. There has to be some sort of collaboration.
You know what it is, Jeremy? It's just forever hip hop's deep dark secret.
It's
the
music
culture
business, bro.
exploded off Rapper's Delight, which we know Grandmaster Caz
Wasn't
wrote
even-
these rhymes for this, and it was used. And I just think we're never gonna escape it. It's kind of like the internal little deep dark secret the hip hop has.
It is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
So maybe it's let me try to draw one last line. If it's a song that's outside of your comfort zone, let's say that's something you don't normally do, you get a pass. If it's a hook, you get a pass. If it's a singing melody song, you get a pass. If it's something that you're experimenting with and you're just trying to reach a new audience, you get a pass. When it comes to verses, if you want to be considered the greatest of all time, you have to have written all of your rap verses that are in your lane.
We want to feel, we want to feel when an MC is really going for it and telling how he's the best or she's the best and barring you up. We want to feel that really all came from you, whether it did or not.
Do you
We
think
still
Nicki
have that
wrote
sort
all
of
her
film.
verses?
I think Nicki Minaj wrote all her verses.
See, then we can't even have this conversation.
Do I think Safari was in the studio helping with ideas? Yeah, I'm not taking that out. But an idea
Hey, you know what?
is, but an idea is.
Hey, you know what I realized today?
Do
you
I
a
not-
real fan. I fuck with you,
I'm
Jay.
still a hip hop fan.
I
Like
fuck with you, Jay.
I'm trying not to
Bro,
let it
you
get
really
jaded.
yeah. She wrote all her shit.
Listen.
Not saying that she didn't, but
There's been people to dispute that. I'm not
Hey,
saying
look,
there's
you had-
nobody online that would say
I
that
want
she
to
hasn't.
warn you. And Bob's are still outside, man. You know
I'm
what
not
saying?
hating on Nicki. Nicki's the greatest female rapper of all time. I'm not
I
hating
do
on
too.
Nicki.
I do too.
I'm not hating on Nicki. But I'm just saying to you, your perception is delightful to have.
I'm still a naive
Is it delightful?
fan
It's delightful. I
of
fuck
this
with
shit.
it.
Every time I hear something, it still rattles me a little bit. I know the music industry, but this shit it's still
This
a
is
little
the-
different.
All right, so Jeremy,
This
but I
is
think
really
we all
delightful to
struggle
have
with that.
Jeremy and end like that. Like, yeah, it hurt me. It hurt you. Just like Drake hurt you, Lil Wayne hurt
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Why can't you admit you're hurt in hip hop if you feel hurt? Someone hurt
I
you.
told y'all, Fabulous hurt me.
There you go.
We
And that was a
close.
great moment.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful story.
But I just wanted a picture. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Take us home, Jeremy. Take
Okay.
us home,
Session.
baby.
we have so much left to
We
go.
run out of time, man.
How much time we have right now?
I say we do 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes.
Okay,
10 more minutes.
let's
take it home. We're
let's-
not getting
more.
everything, Jeremy.
One more.
Okay, one more. Let me ask you guys which one you want to do that. We got J. Cole.
Let's talk about my young boy, Cash Cobain.
Okay, all right.
Because Head say he's not a fan.
Okay.
I want to know why.
Okay, so we
I want to know why.
we have a segment we're doing called Next Up where we test the room. Let's see if the person who one of us thinks is next to blow actually is. And today we have Cash Cobain on the docket.
You're my favorite New Yorker.
You
right
said
now.
it. You went and linked with him. The Elliott Wilson experience in New
Yes,
York.
yes.
Why is Cash Cobain your guy right now?
I was never a super fan of this New York's embracement of the drill scene and drill music being utilized. I mean, obviously there were some great moments, like all respect and rest in peace, Pop Smoke. And I'm not saying there wasn't some great moments in music, but it took me a minute. But yeah, something about this Cash Cobain kid. And it's funny because the record wasn't even a hit record. It was on his album he did, and it was a record called Clocking You. And I remember hearing the record, and I just really liked that record. So then I tried to understand who this kid is, and then I realized he's not just the artist, he's a producer. He's taking this sort of approach of taking a lot of like R&B classics or other songs and flipping it production-wise and coined this new sound, which they're calling sexy drill. And I more so just was attracted to what I saw of him, like his energy, how he's moving around, you know, dark-skinned brother, little young dude, like a little young Biggie or something, you know what I'm saying? But also the producer, and like, you know, then we started really connecting online and really, you know, building a little bit of rapport. So to finally go to New York, kicked it with him, got to see his connection with the audience. His mom's involved in his business, and we did some great content. But yeah, I'm just a fan. And I think that he's also not really established yet. Like, he had that Fisher record that had a little bit of a buzz, got Ice Spice on the remix, but hasn't had the hit record yet. You know, the first record now that he produced for Don Toliver, Attitude, I think that was his first Hot 100 entry. So clearly he has a lot of work to still do. But I just am rooting for him. I think there's something unique about him and what he's doing, and like the idea of a certain new energy to New York City. As much as DJ Hed is proud of the West Coast, I'm proud of the East Coast. That's where I come from. So I like to see, you know, the idea of a new movement building something.
I like his spin on drill too. I think making it a little bit more relatable, everyday, positive, like taking that and kind of using his influences and where he wants to take it, but still showing love and respect to the genre is really cool. He even said, if you move in slizzy, then yes, sing that to the women. My music are not for men. He tweeted that. So I shouldn't like, if you don't like it, it's not for us.
This man enjoys it. This man enjoys it.
You can like it, but it's not necessarily for us. But I do think it'll take some work for him to become a superstar. I think Don Toliver is a good example of someone who doesn't necessarily show himself in interviews. He doesn't necessarily have a huge personality online, but his music is so big that he's still a superstar. So it's possible, but I think Cash Cobain, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing the interview too, because I kind of want to learn a little bit more about him. But he doesn't seem like he's a huge personality. The music's kind of talking for itself right now.
No, he's a work in progress.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see kind of where he goes, but I think he's got a lot of potential.
I have a question. What in the hell is slizzy?
That's his movement. This is lifestyle. Slizzy, man. Slizzy entertainment. Slizzy.
Okay, all right. I thought it was because y'all be.
I'll plead ignorance.
Y'all be having words. You know, sometimes it be like this or that.
Well, he's a kid living a lifestyle. I think Slizzy's like the coolness of you drinking.
Is it like Riz?
Kicking it with the ladies. Yes, exactly. I think a little Riz related. Yes.
Okay, all right. I can fuck with that.
But he is a kid that's like making these records that connected with fans, then going to the club, getting his little brown bag, and then getting inspired, go back to the studio, make some more records. So he's living the lifestyle in real time.
The thing is, I listened to his project, the latest one. I forgot the name of it. The one with the green. It has like a green artwork. It looked like a bodega or something.
Yep.
But
yeah, that's the one that had the clock. That's the clocking record in that I liked.
Yeah,
but I didn't love the overall album, but that record to me connected to me, and that was my entry point.
I listened to Run Punch. I listened to like a bunch of records, and I was just trying to find like certain things. We got to wrap up. I found certain things, but I like the one with was it Kelly Rowland flip? No, what was the sample?
Pharrell, the Attitude one, or
no.
He flips a lot of R&B classics.
Yeah, I like that one. I only like one of the records. I didn't like the rest of the stuff just because I'm not, like you said earlier, he needs to be polished up a little bit more. I want him to more define his sound. I mean, he's been putting out albums for like the last 5 years or something like that. So he's already locked in, but I would like for him to refine his sound to where it's a little bit more palatable. Widespread, I think he would get way bigger faster.
I think that's fair. Yeah. I received that.
Well, I think we all had a little bit of a therapy session today. My fandom shined through.
Shout out to New York, though.
Shout out to the West Coast.
We will be asking Hed off camera a couple more times for some tickets, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
The bigger
picture.
Good luck with that.